Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's doing fantastic. I'm doing better. Yesterday was a bit of a rough night. I had planned to stream, but dude, work was an absolute shit show. We had a multiple kid restraint that turned into doing documentation an hour past the end of my shift. So I was a little too pissed for DSP shit. But I saw what he was up to. He was playing Street Fighter 6 with Akuma and getting his ass whooped. And damn, was he doing some aggro begging. Holy shit, man. This dude was about ready to start grabbing people and shaking them around to start asking for money. Um, but that's wild. What was it? And he was slamming his controller so hard that he disconnected it. The dude is just too high strung, man. It's not that big of a deal, dude. It's a video game, man. And I get that it's cliche to say that, but for real, why would you want to put yourself in a position where you're constantly pissed? I don't get it. I mean, then again, I guess I do kind of get it because that's part of watching DSP is getting consistently pissed, right? Anyway, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll be here tomorrow to catch the second dose of Street Fighter, and I heard that he's got some sort of surprise in store for Friday. I'm sure it's going to be something stupid. Sure, it's going to be embarrassing and lackluster and, quite frankly, just childish. But so I had a question for everyone, and that is, it's a hypothetical or a rhetorical question. What makes a good filler arc of a TV show, or what makes a good filler episode? Think the story of Iroh from Avatar, or the episode of Dragon Ball Z where Goku and Piccolo get their driver's license. Episodes like that, they help you reconnect with a character, learn a little bit more about what motivates them, think about how they view the world without ever having to approach some grander narrative. And that's kind of what I'm going to cover today is a DSP filler episode. Oh, the Human Centipede. Yes, I saw that. DSP was talking about his back aching from stress. I suppose technically that's physically possible. Stress does horrible things to us, but what exactly are you stressed about? Absorbing the Akuma salt from last night. Yeah, I watched a little bit, but I sent some of it to my friend. Oh, the Waking the Dragons arc. I don't think I ever actually finished that arc. It just got a little too boring for me. It was also, in my opinion, the part of the original Yu-Gi-Oh season, the first season, where it got the most ridiculous in terms of rules. Even though it had happened quite a bit after it, they started really ironing out the rules. The fact that you could fuse the dragon with absolutely anything and create a brand new card, it was a little silly to me. And then the cards never released, so I just figured it wasn't real. Anyway, this is we're gonna get back to this. This is it's a bit of a shorter story arc, and it's a story in 4 parts. There is the introduction, the response, DSP's response, and then DSP's response to DSP, which DSP disagrees with previous DSP. Previous DSP was stupid. He didn't know how life worked. Anyway. But I've mentioned this before. This is a story arc that I feel a lot of people don't really talk about that often. And I find it's a very fascinating story arc because of how much we learn about Darkseid Phil how quickly. And this is the story of Gamer J. Lee. For anyone who's relatively new to the DSP vortex, Gamer J. Lee's story arc doesn't get brought up that often. My whole time doing restreams and doing content for DSP, seriously, I think I've maybe heard his name invoked once or twice at maximum, which is really weird because, again, like I said, it's a very interesting story arc. But it all began in February 2020. That was a million years ago, and life was different back then. DSP was on top of the world. Well, back then he was. Now, but at that time period, he would say that he was before. Whatever, doesn't matter. Anyway. This is the story of 2008. Like I said, a spinoff of TBS. It is interesting to think of how many different podcasts you can make with DSP-isms. All right. And they had a big ass coffin fit. I'm still not over it. All right, we're going to get right into it. This is from Mighty D. DSP called out by Xmod after lying about him on stream. I'm actually going to stop and transition to the next video at a certain point because the next video is Gamer J Lee's entire segment, whereas Mighty D truncated it to the most important part. I'm not interested in just the most important part. I want to hear all the mundane shit too. Well, let's get cracking. Guncated. Gincated.
Alrighty, everyone. Hello, and welcome back to another live stream, and a live stream that has been kind of brought up recently.
We did get some good stuff from it
because
in terms of like character depth. Like I like Mai's episodes.
By Dark Side Phil,
but I don't think I ever finished it.
The guy who I
masturbated on stream,
used to be a fan of, used to be a moderator of, and we're gonna get into that. But I thought that I was completely separated from Phil, that there was no connection there between us anymore.
Oh, let me pause it real quick. Again, I just want to give context here. This is part 2 of the story. This is step 2 of it. Yes, I saw quite a bit of yesterday's Assault Fighter. This is him responding to what DSP said. Now, I didn't think it was necessary to play the clip where DSP said his initial statement because the entire thing gets covered in this video. So that's why we're kind of just jumping right into part 2 of the story. And just a quick rundown, DSP was playing Minecraft and he got to talking and was talking about how people betrayed him and got toxified. And then he responds to it.
But the other night, he was live streaming. What day was this on? I'm going to have to go look at the video, but
doesn't matter. February 10th, 2020.
So yesterday, this was posted on his YouTube channel, but he was it was on Monday. He was streaming Minecraft, and near the tail
that anger
end
begging
of the stream,
was pretty funny.
He mentioned me, not by name, because he was trying to be polite, but he outright mentioned me. So let's go ahead and take a look at what Phil had to say.
Whoa, did you see that transition? What the hell was that?
Something that honestly I never expected to be talked about by him ever again, or talk to him ever again, but we'll get into that. Okay, are you gonna talk, motherfucker?
Yeah, we cut to DSP being silent again.
What I think it is I think sadly a lot of people are very impressionable. Okay, I do. I think that in the modern society, young people are very, very, very impressionable, and it's very easy for them to fall in line with a common mentality or a common thought. That's what memes are at their core when you really think about it, right?
I mean, kind of. It's a common language
of something that everyone recognizes and knows what it is.
People get the jokes and use it as a format for understanding life. Yeah.
The meme itself isn't funny. The fact that you know the meme and you can recognize and acknowledge the meme is somehow like a funny thing, or you get a feeling of recognition out of it, right? So I think that some people are just way too impressionable and fall into these weird circles of hate and circles of drama and circles of just stupid, immature shit. When a guy like me, I'm old enough that I don't give a fuck about any of that. I don't ever want to have anything to do with that, but I get sucked in because that's what my viewers are doing. You see what I'm saying? Like,
okay. And this is where it goes from him talking about his viewers getting sucked in to bringing up me.
Something else that's kind of important to know here is that when DSP talks about his own childhood in terms of who he was in the past at the young age of 29, he will do this weird little performative thing where he talks about how he was such a negative person back then, except that DSP's behavior hasn't changed. It's just the amount of intensity that he does it. You know, DSP today would just call you slurs for wanting Baldur's Gate, you know, if it was the same DSP. Now DSP will just browbeat you and shit on you forever for wanting Baldur's Gate 3. You see how there's a lot of difference there. Anyway, when DSP talks about this, notice that he has a certain distance to himself about it. You know, he's talking about other kids who have these situations where they fall into bad crowds and bad motifs and whatnot. Notice DSP never had that. He's not implying he ever had something like that because he always knew what the right thing to do was, and that was shit on amiibos.
Now, here's what I've got.
I'm telling you, like a bracket, this was a really golden era, the Minecraft streams.
Yeah, I was a fan of DSP, and I was a fan of him for
admitting you killed someone
since 2008, 2009. back whenever he did the Into Darkness.
Yeah, I like
or whatever
Darkside Phil.
DLC with John Rainbow
Boo.
for Resident Evil 5. And I was, honestly, I enjoyed the content for a while.
What?
And I was a bit of a
Okay.
fanboy. I was a young kid. I was impressionable.
All right,
We all
so
been there.
DSP's
We all
kind
were
of getting proven
either
right here.
fans of him to begin with, or we were people that just didn't like him, but like to see him fail. I was one of the people.
Real quick aside, Lackey Bracky, the thing where DSP was doing all that jowl shaking while playing Hellblade 2, dude, that shit was so obnoxious, especially with his speech about how this game is just as good just because it's not meeting all these criteria people want. I was just thinking of Nintendo Switch the whole time. DSP, when he plays Hellblade, hey, you guys need to be realistic about your wishes. DSP, when he's playing Nintendo, this shit is bad. It needs to have more unrealistic wishes.
People that genuinely liked him. And the thing that drives me nuts is that I was so blind
Let's go, Neil.
to how he was acting because I was such a young kid and I just saw this YouTuber who I was like, hey, I relate to him. He likes wrestling. I like wrestling. He likes this video game. I like this video game. And I basically became a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in 2013,
I mean, it happens. I was a fan of Bam Margera, and look how shitty he was.
I went to the Screw Attack.
Oh, God, look at this dork.
I went to Screw Attack Gaming Convention.
I mean, he kind of looks like me when I was younger, so I can't really talk too much shit.
With my Modern Warfare 3 bag.
Yeah, that was me with my Halo shit,
my
looking cool.
Face, double chinned ass, Look
at me, I'm a badass. Oh shit, it's the guy.
I met.
That's not the guy. Other way.
I met, the completionist Gerard.
Whatever happened to that guy?
Greg. I met John Rambo.
Hey, it's the other guy.
Cool dude who honestly
was DSP relegated to this corner. He was in the construction area. This is where you find Darkside Phil.
Was probably the best part of the trip was meeting John Rambo because he actually wanted to talk. But let's see what Phil recognizes and remembers from this trip.
Like, I'll
That's
give you a perfect
so ridiculous,
example.
Irene. It was really obnoxious.
There is
Just so much weird pre-PR.
Okay, I'm not going to do that. But there was a kid who was a fan of mine back in the day, and he actually met me in real life. We spent some time together. We hung out at one of the conventions that I had attended, and I signed some of his stuff. He was a really
He shits on
nice
Nintendo
kid.
games for being
Younger.
short.
I'd say probably he was in his teens, maybe early 20s, but I think he was in his teens when I met him.
Yeah, we met and we talked for like 5 minutes. 5 minutes I talked to him because the rest of the time he went and basically was doing the Iron Man of gaming competition.
Yeah, how'd that go, by the way?
There was actually.
By the way, I think that's the Iron Man of gaming is where I think I'm one of the best overall gamers in the country. I believe that's where that quote comes from, was when he was hyping that up. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, and I really would appreciate it, but I'm pretty sure that's where that came from.
A kid there that basically
he got bodied in what,
was
DuckTales?
following him around the entire convention.
Derek?
And you could tell, like, if any of those vlogs ever showed up where you see Phil outside the Iron Man of gaming thing, there's this one kid who is just pestering him and bugging him the entire trip. The entire trip, he is basically going and bugging him, and it wasn't the Air Raid Lord. I have no clue.
Game Master, how's it going?
Some kid. I didn't even talk to the guy. He was just like.
Just got here and heard another human deploy the term relegated properly for the first time in my life. Pig ups, Len.
Thank you very much, good God. No. Yeah, I learned a lot of my vocabulary from Calvin and Hobbes. I'm telling you, for anyone who's got kids or who is getting kids, like maybe they're on layaway or something, definitely let your kids read Calvin and Hobbes. That will jumpstart the shit out of them because they'll learn a whole bunch of words they wouldn't normally learn, and they'll learn it in a comic strip where a kid's face gets blown off from chewing bubblegum too much, stuff like that. It's definitely good stuff. Thank you very much, good God. No, I really appreciate it.
Like, it's okay, Phil. You'll do better, Phil.
No, this is not
It's
Boogie.
okay, Phil, because Phil wasn't doing good in the Iron Man of gaming competition. I was
Whatever
doing
happened
my
to
own
this kid?
thing. I was meeting the completionist, who I had a lot more respect for. And basically, I was there to meet Phil, but Phil was doing his own thing. I was like, okay, I'm not going to bug him. Cool.
Okay, so this is where we're going to transition to the bigger video.
They actually gave a shit where meet Phil, but Phil was doing his own thing. I was like, okay, I'm not going to bug him. Cool. Fine by me. I went and hung out with John Rambo and OJ. They were cool. They wanted to talk. They actually.
So hold on a second. Let me get this straight. this dude's fond memories of meeting DSP was not DSP, but meeting the other stars of Project 7? What? Dude, no, that's extremely disrespectful. DSP did all the work on that show. He showed up and like waddled around. That's 99% of the work there. This dude's an asshole.
Gave a shit. Where basically
no feet.
This was one of those times where, you know, Phil was, dealing with whatever the fuck he was doing with the Iron Man gaming. But yeah, I was pretty cool with him. I didn't pester him. I basically
John
just
seems like
hung
a
around
cool
the
dude.
Convention.
Howard seems like a cool dude. They all do. It's
Okay.
DSP's the odd man out, of course.
Really nice, Keith. I love your content. I
True.
love everything you do.
I love your content.
Not everything.
Genuinely
I love
a
your work,
fan
Phil.
And everything. Okay.
Gives
Now, after
meaning
that
to my
convention,
drab
I
life.
went home and said, I'd like, could I maybe moderate for you? And he actually moderated for me for a while and did some stuff, as a volunteer for a little bit.
So I'm kind of blowing the story early. I'm kind of spoiling you. Notice how extremely specific DSP is getting with who this is. It was a child, which for DSP is anyone under the age of 30. Okay, we've already narrowed it down. And that's not even really sarcastic. DSP is called 25-year-old's kid. So we've got someone who's under the age of 30 who met him. That already, again, completely siphons down the amount of people it could be. Was a mod. It's getting narrower and narrower. His name was Derek.
Which was very nice of him, okay? Out of the kindness of his own heart or whatever, okay?
Phil probably thought he was trying to steal his love of Rambo.
Now,
Yeah, DSP was trying to like give it the cold treatment.
Later,
Make John Rambo come back.
Give a premise here. I haven't heard from this kid in years. Basically, he was a
You
mod
don't
of
want
mine.
that person,
He kind of
John Rambo.
vanished,
You want me.
disappeared. For like over 2 years, I never heard a word of peep out of this kid. So
He's
I don't know
moving
what
while
happened to him. I don't know
T-posing.
if
That's
he's,
great.
How he's doing or whatever. No clue, right? I don't know. All I know is that the
Yeah,
only
that is
interaction I
a
ever had
that
with
is
this
a
guy was
annoying
very
clip,
positive
Soldier.
one at a
That's
convention
true. John was
years
being a
ago.
dickhead. A part of me, maybe not so. Maybe it's not right. Maybe it's not right of me to do this. But a part of me does make excuses for the people around DSP's orbit because DSP does have a sort of overbearing personality. And people like Darkside Phil, they tend to draw out the worst of people around them. I'm not saying it's an excuse that John was a dickhead to people. I'm not saying an excuse that Panda Lee was a dickhead to people. I'm not even really saying it's an excuse that Cat's a dickhead to people. But you got to understand the common denominator amongst all of them was this dude. And this dude's personality was always combative and aggressive. Eventually, that just kind of seeps into you.
I would say at this point, thinking back, probably about 7-8 years ago. All right.
Yeah, that's true as well, man.
Years later.
We're all kids.
All right. All of a sudden, I find out this kid hates my guts.
Dumb
Now,
kids. That's what it is. Dumb kids.
Okay, the kid hates his guts thing. So let's kind of preference this myself because when it comes to that, I didn't hate his guts. And after the convention, I was a moderator for him for about 1.5 to 2 years. I did moderate for him. And honestly, moderate wasn't really a good term for it. It was more that I came in the chat and basically dealt with shit as it came. I never falsely banned anyone. I never did any like flagging of, oh, you're talking shit, get banned. I wasn't in that.
Oh,
kind
then
of
you're not an
moderator.
appropriate
I
mod.
usually
You're
just
clearly
chill back and
unqualified.
let others deal with it. And
You need to
then
be
I
like
did it if
Swaggins
it
and
was,
just ban
like,
people for
something
nothing.
really bad or fucked up. Basically, I
So you pretty much
moderated,
never banned
and
anyone
then
ever.
It was 2014 or 2015 when I saw a video, and it was from King of Hate.
Oh,
Or-
no.
yeah, no, not King of Hate, but this right here from Ask the King.
What?
And there was a certain episode.
Oh, yeah.
and
This
fuck,
is
we'll
good.
just scroll to it real fast, which
Aha.
I can't access anymore
Oh,
because
no.
the fucker deleted it.
Toxic.
But it's when I totally noticed and realized how fucked up a person
Thinking
he
around,
was.
especially for streams, had them acting more like him. I think so.
Basically, this video right here that's private is one that he was talking about amiibos.
Oh,
Now, does
shit.
everyone remember his amiibo rants?
You gonna spend
Put
it on
one-
burgers?
The day you met DSP was the happiest day of your life, but for me it was Tuesday.
Oh, get it? It's a Street Fighter reference. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll admit, I'd be pretty stoked if I met Phil. Hold on one second. Because for me, it's like seeing Bigfoot. You know, you see Darkside Phil. He's this dude who hides in his condo and refuses to interact with the world. It'd be kind of cool seeing Bigfoot, you know, and he's got a back problem. He kind of waddles around. I mean, I would take a bunch of grainy photographs of him too. And then I would try and talk to him and say, hey, man, how's it going? Are you Phil? Oh, yeah. Dude, I really am a huge fan of your content. I love it when you say racist things, but then 10 minutes later say you're not racist. I personally find it funny. I don't know if it's real or not. Thank you again. I really appreciate it. So Leanna and definitely Kat weren't as mean or rude before meeting Phil. I would say that Leanna was always a bit of a turd, just a little bit of a turd. That just seems to be her personality. But I definitely don't think she was as bad as she became when she was around DSP. And Kat, I don't see her being particularly combative.
In the chat, if you remember the DSP amiibo rants, I just want to get an idea.
Yeah, those amiibo rants were pretty wild. Going back and rewatching them.
I was a mod for him.
Goutfoot of Renton, ack.
His beard's weird. Yes, DSP's beard is weird because it's so
Big
grainy.
gout.
It's such a shitty webcam. Yeah, basically, he did a whole rant about amiibo. Now
it was
in this
multiple
video
rants.
That's private now.
He did several.
One of the
This dude
people
had
asked
plenty
him
of
about
opportunities
amiibos and
to
said
shut his
something along
mouth.
The lines of, I like amiibos. I collect amiibos. Do you at least understand and respect that? Well, DSP basically called him an idiot and said, you're buying into Nintendo's shit. You're buying into their shit and you're falling for their trap. Yeah, it was during the Timbo days. Yeah, Timbo Slice and stuff.
Man, that was a wild time.
I basically was like, wait a second, what? I kind of like got that moment of recognition. I was like, okay, he's an asshole.
Yes.
That was a dick move. And
yes.
I silently,
because it's not hard. It really isn't. It's what's that beautiful quote?
Bro, it's not hard.
It's not hard to just let people like things they like. You know, people like a lot of things I particularly raise an eyebrow at. People like a lot of things. People like a lot of things that internally I'm thinking, that's stupid. That's a bad use of your money. But I try to restrain it because the exact same argument could always be made about me. You know, model kits. I could see people saying that's a bad use of your time. Why don't you work on a car? You know, it's much better or whatever. So that same standard just applies everywhere. But DSP never has that. He's never had that capacity to think, maybe I shouldn't judge others because they could judge me. DSP always just came to the conclusion of, well, I can't be judged. I've never done anything wrong, so I can just judge all I want, right? And it's really, really ironic that this dude, Darkside Phil, had such a bug up his ass about amiibos, little figurines of video game characters, when this dude was dropping $200 on a giant ass statue of Hulk or Scorpion or the dude from Team Fortress 2. So that's the difference to Darkside Phil. The difference is that you're not spending enough money on a bigger, more obnoxious, more difficult to resell, more difficult to store thing. That's your problem. That's your problem. And DSP's always had a huge hatred on for Nintendo that I've never really fully understood. And I don't know. DSP just has things that he hates. I assume like Nintendo shot up his house one time or something.
Because I didn't want
I used to like watching a guy
to
dressed as a cow
basically
playing League of
cause
Legends.
drama.
Yeah.
I silently just removed myself as a mod and left.
I've never even heard of that dude.
I didn't email him. I didn't tell him. I just walked. Because I wasn't someone who was going to start drama or anything at the time. I was doing my own thing. I was starting my own channel, which right here, Gamer J Lee, reviews and unboxings.
Hey, wait, did you unbox on the couch while the fire alarm was going off?
This is my channel now.
People, you gonna spend it on burgers?
That beautiful quote is when somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time.
Oh, absolutely. And DSP will make sure that you know him even if you forgot the first time. This dude, to DSP's credit, he will remind you every stream that he's a piece of crap. You just wait. He'll get to it. He will inform you that he is an irredeemable turd who no one should really respect or listen to or like. So, you know, he keeps his branding consistent, I suppose. Thank you very much. I appreciate good God.
And I grew it over time and basically was
Probably to
honestly enjoying myself. And
I can see DSP being a mama's boy of that caliber.
I talk about Halo And I basically
Maybe mom had Precious
kind of-
figurines,
I've had
Precious
the little
Moments
character
figurines,
as far back as 2013,
which is pre-amiibo.
but I
Proto
never
amiibo.
talked about DSP. I never talked about Dark Side Phil.
You misspelled it.
Let's see if I can type this right.
Yeah, it's
if I'm
all
not
one
illiterate.
word. It's all one word.
I never talked about Dark
There you
Side
go.
Phil in any of my content. And it was one of those things where I was like, okay, I'm gonna walk
Wait,
and do
that
my
guy
own
has
thing.
Social Blade up.
He's
Doesn't he
got
know
mods.
Social Blade is wrong?
He can do whatever he wants. Well, years later, I made
Spectacular.
one
Whoa,
joke, and thank you
scared
for the
me.
follow on that. I actually am covering that up, unfortunately. Let me actually move that down so you guys
That
can
would
see
be
it.
really funny to have Precious
I
Moments
made
figurines,
one
but for
joke
Dark Side Phil.
about DSP.
Wish I had a 3D printer. I'd make one.
One joke, and it wasn't even directly at him. It was a joke about does anyone here know who JTech TV is? The PlayStation fanboy, the PlayStation console
Dude, I
console
don't know this guy.
fanboy who gets in arguments with Fratanga and all
Maybe I
those
do.
guys.
I'd have to see him.
That guy. Basically, Fratanga said that he'd pulled the DSP. I still wasn't blocked by DSP, and I just decided throw his name in the tag because we were talking about him. And Fratanga was blocked by him, so he couldn't. So basically, I make the joke that JTech TV is the new DSP because of the incident. Well, what happened was is
yeah,
I got
no man, that's ban on site. You can't make fun of DSP's masturbation. Only DSP's allowed to make fun of his masturbation.
blocked. My main account, Gamer J Lee, got blocked by Darkside Phil.
Guarantee his mom had those glass figurines that
I was
when
like,
people collect back. Oh yeah, the ones like in
Okay, you
Falling
thin-skinned
Down.
son of a bitch. All right, I see how it's gonna be. And every once in a while, I'll take jabs.
But yeah, what he's describing is it is a process that you come to when you're dealing with abusive people, and it's kind of a tug of war scenario when you deal with people who are just complete sacks of shit, and that is you will begin to suspect they're an asshole, and you will start looking for something, looking for a sign to either affirm your thoughts or to discredit your thoughts. And oftentimes in abusive relationships or abusive scenarios in general, people tend to look for absolution from their views. Oh, see, he's not really a bad person. He's not that bad after all. But the people who really do successfully break free from cycles with people like Darkside Phil is when you start scanning for the confirmation. And that's exactly what you see here is DSP's, excuse me one second. DSP's behavior regarding a joke confirmed to Gamer J Lee that Darkside Phil's a bad person, or at the very least a shitty person. And it's very beautiful when this happens. So it's something I will celebrate. Even though this dude was a Darkside Phil fan and a Darkside Phil mod, there is something to celebrate about a person who can break through that kind of thing.
At him whenever he does something wrong. Now, am I going to do the fucked up stuff that some detractor channels do? No. I'm not going to dox him. I'm not going to attack his wife or whatever the fuck. I didn't do any of that. All I did was criticize the dude who was on stream and the things he did on stream. I didn't go after his wife. She's done nothing. I don't know her. I don't care. It's that guy who I was criticizing.
I don't really know where this wife thing came from. I must have missed it when Darkside Phil brought it up, but did he accuse Gamer J Lee of talking shit about his wife? I don't know. I must have missed it.
And the thing is,
Would
is
he
that
replay Minecraft?
some people
Not
say
really.
a
I
little
don't see
too
it happening.
much and get a little out of hand. Now, does he deserve the criticism? Yeah. But does he deserve to say, hey, you should go out back and shoot your wife in the back of the head because she looks like a horse? No.
That seems a little over the top.
Too far. I think that's just a little too far for my taste, but I can understand the frustration with him.
Yeah, the Human Centipede.
So,
you just need
let's see
big,
what he
girthy
has to say
statues. Then it's
about
okay.
Gamer J Lee without saying it's Gamer J Lee. Shall we?
All right, continue.
Now, keep in mind, I haven't had any interaction with this kid since I met him in person, and he offered later on to be a moderator for me, and he had been an on or off moderator for me, and then he disappeared. So we're talking 2-3 years later since I never heard from this kid.
Stop
Apparently
calling me a
hates my
fucking
guts.
kid, you
Apparently
cunt!
he talks.
Oh my god! That's like the 7th or 8th time that he fucking called me a kid. Jesus Christ. I was 19 in 2013. He just keeps calling me a fucking kid over and over again. It's hilarious.
About me on social media all the time, riffing on me, making fun of me, insulting me and my family, and he's regular in detractor circles and all that. And I'm like, so what happened? Because here's the thing:
Wait a minute. I'm a regular in
You'll
detractor
keep saying
circles
kid because
the only two
that's very true,
people
like
I've
Rebecca.
had any true interaction with on Twitter is Fertanga and Soma Julius Cruz.
Oh, oops.
Those are the only two people. I've never made a video. I've criticized him on Twitter. I've directly criticized him. I've basically done all that, but I've never gone and made a video on him. I've never done.
But something to remember here is that DSP and LTG have a similar thing when it comes to social media. This is how I got banned by both of them. I have never ever said one word to either Darkside Phil or Low Tier God. But what Darkside Phil does, and what Low Tier God does as well, is they will find a negative comment that's made about them. And you would think, oh, they're just going to block that person. No. See, DSP and LTG are very smart. Why would you just block one source of negativity? No, you go to the likes, you find all those people, you ban them too. You block this guy, block that guy. Oh, someone responded in the comments, block that dude too. Okay, now I can block the post. Because I never said any word to these dudes, but I got blocked. So it could very well be that same situation is effectively happening here with Gamer J Lee, where Gamer J Lee could have liked or commented on posts that were critical to Darkside Phil. And from the perspective of Darkside Phil, that is no different than you doing it yourself.
Any of that shit. I'm in the major detractor circle. Look at my fucking channel, dude. What the fuck? I didn't even grab my channel. I closed it. My bad. Does my channel look like
Jesus
a
Christ,
detractor channel to you? I'm talking about Gears of War and Halo.
Yep, detractor shit. Those are references somehow.
I do silly shit on my YouTube channel. Do I look like a detractor channel?
Yeah, I don't see anything
alert.
negative
Totally,
to the
man.
guy.
Oh, good to see you, buddy. But
it bums me out because I wanted to
he's
give
so
them a reason
stupid.
to block me.
He wants to label me this because I made one fucking joke about the dude. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. But I've made fun of him because of the things he's done. I've criticized him. I never made a joke about how he looks. I've never
there's
made a
plenty of
joke
jokes to be made
about,
there.
You know, how he acts. I've criticized the person. I've never attacked his
but
looks.
if you
I've never
attack
attacked his
him
wife.
in any way, you're attacking his
But
family.
I'm part of
Obviously.
the detractor circle.
Obviously.
I'm the bad guy for being affiliated with people a little bit like Fertanga and talking and watching Soma Julius Cruz.
Windmills are impossible to beat, though.
Soma Julius Cruz,
Drops his
if you're in the
inputs.
chat, I don't know if you are, pal.
Oh, goodness.
You make some of the best detractor content
Yeah,
out there.
about that.
You are fucking hilarious. Your edits are great.
Mm,
Go sub to him. And I mean that. It isn't like what DSP did where he fucking said, oh, go to...
Okay, this part is probably the part that aged the least well. Moving on.
Subscribe to Soma Julius Cruz. I don't know who the fuck that is. No, go sub to him. He's a good dude. He makes good content. But
Well,
when it comes to Phil,
okay,
he
continue.
thinks that I'm one of his greatest haters, one of these bad guys. And
I really
all
would
can
like to see
remember
DSP tier
about
list as
whenever I
detractors.
met Phil in 2013 was,
I mean,
he was
I would like to see it like some sort of group video or group stream where we, from DSP's perspective, rate the detractors in terms of how much they make him lose sleep or how much he grinds his teeth. Now, granted, Tevin is just automatically S tier because no other detractor got the amount of intense, angered rants that Tevin got. But who's all beneath that? You know, who pissed him off a little bit less and less and less? I think that'd be an interesting thing to do. Sons of Kojima pissed him off. And answer to your question, Holly, what happened with Soma Julius Cruz is Soma Julius Cruz stared too long into the abyss. He started having, this is how you don't play is made of him, and he responded similar to how DSP responded. He got very aggressive and combative about it. He was, he did a lot of false takedowns and stuff. And he became Phil. And that's just unacceptable, man. There are lines you don't cross when you become a detractor, and one of the easiest lines is do not become like Phil. If people make fun of you, you cannot be like Phil. You have to be better than that. And it's not a hard bar to pass. It's not difficult. You don't false copyright strike people. That's kind of all you got to do, really.
He was antsy and just wanted to make content. John and OJ were the most sincere, like open people that love to talk and basically tell you about their content. They were extremely sincere, extremely,
Probably second out of
honest
Detractors
about their
collective. I
content
can see
and
that.
wanting to basically go and have everyone.
He does. What's that kind of like jungle music that's played? I think in I want to say it's in Snort Burnell. DSP knows that song's title because I will never be able to find this because he never actually said anything. So you couldn't pig go this. But someone posted in his chat the title of that song, and DSP like put down the controller and leaned over and banned that dude. So he does know about the song that's used in Snort Burnell.
Grow. And basically he was honestly a good dude. Leanna just sat at the booth and rolled her eyes.
Uh-huh.
She was rolling her eyes like the goddamn Undertaker, just wanting to leave. She's like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah,
And
Leanna
she
was a
my
sour
same
individual.
age. We were both 19 at the time. So that's the funny thing is she's sitting there and she was like, yeah, Panda Taker. She was rolling her eyes in the back of her head like, I don't want to be here. And then later that night.
So he kind of glossed over it there for a little bit, but that's a very important piece of information. Gamer J Lee and Panda Lee at this time were the same age. Darkside Phil is referring to Gamer J Lee as a kid. Now, obviously, it's a very dismissive way. You all have already stated it in the chat. DSP is using this to push him down. You're nothing to me. You're a child. You're a kid. You're not an adult. I don't deal with adults. I deal only with children. But if he's the same age as Panda Lee, are you stating that Panda Lee is also a child? It's a good question to ask. And of course, DSP would just ban you for even saying that. But what's really the difference here? Because DSP is Mr. Objective Fact. He's very much Mr. Analytical. Life is exactly how I say it is. So if you are stating that Gamer J Lee is a minor, and he is the same age as Panda Lee, then Panda Lee, according to DSP's logic, was a minor. Now, I'm not saying 19-year-old is a minor, but I'm saying in DSP's perspective.
I'm going to remember this till the day I die. I'm leaving the downstairs area where there was the open arcade.
How you call a female
and
kid
people
in
were
English?
hanging out. The completionist was hanging out.
Girl.
Greg was there. All those guys, Peanut Butter Gamer and so on and so forth. And I go, and I'm coming up the escalator, and Phil, Leanna, John, and OJ are coming down. And I'm like, hey, Phil. Phil looks pissed off.
Yeah, because he
Leanna looks
lost.
pissed off. And John and OJ are in the back, like, just like, oh, fuck, something went down. I don't know whatever went down, but literally they were just like brewing. Next day they left. They left basically right after the whole thing. Yeah,
That's pretty OCD, autistic to block people in the troll posts. Fragile self-esteem Black DSP and Pigroach have. No life having hermit mental losers.
No, you're absolutely right, Song Jade. I really appreciate the donation. It's a special level of weakness to just not be able to handle people talking shit on the internet. And it's very, very ironic that it comes from Darkside Phil and Low Tier God. These dudes cry and whine about this golden period of the internet where you could talk shit about people and no one cared. I mean, the time period did kind of exist where you could just say whatever you wanted, and not so much that people didn't care, it's just that they didn't really be bothered to care, you know? Dude talk shit on me on the forums, well, I'm moving on. I got other things I can do. And Darkside Phil and Low Tier God both, they want to return to that period, but only for them. They're the only ones who are allowed to shit on people. No one else can be in that same time period. That's unacceptable. That's toxic. It's really wild hearing this from Darkside Phil, though, because this dude will go on these long-ass tangents about how the internet became toxified. It was like, well, how did it become toxified? The way you described it, wasn't the internet already toxified? And that's what made it good? But now suddenly, because you insulted Phil, the whole universe kind of changed. I appreciate it. Thank you again.
John Rainbow, I quit. Fuck this guy. And I don't blame John because
Oh yeah,
John
Evil
was
AJ
actually
is high
pissed
up there
off.
on the tier
And-
list, by the
and
way.
this is something that I talked to him privately about. I talked to him about this when him and OJ
I was an
were
asshole
outside
online.
the panel hall.
But I tried not to
He's
ever
like,
have it be recorded.
I'm just frustrated because
I never typed out my shit. I always
Phil
said
said
my
he was
shit.
going to give us more time on the panel to talk about Schnozman and Hole Punch, and we didn't get that time. We didn't get that time at all.
So there's, again, this is why I really, really love this story arc, because we get so much little background details on little things that happened here and there. For example, we now have some insights on the panel that DSP did, where they were frustrated that they didn't get a chance to talk about these things. And DSP, what did he do the entire panel? Talk about his bad back, talk about how life sucks for him, how life is unfair, and all this and that. And it was a sold out crowd too, man. It was a fire code violation. There were so many people in there. He might be talking about a different convention, but the energy kind of still remains.
We got time to show it, and then he moved on from there. And here's a little secret. If you go find that panel, hey, thank you very much, Ficus. I appreciate that. Actually,
No, it is
I'll
the same
read
panel.
that
Okay.
real quick. Give me 1 second. I'll get Streamlabs all set up here so I can
Well, what's he
take a
doing?
look at that.
Don't
Let
do
me
that,
just
man. That's
look
what
into
LTG
this.
got banned with. Don't do that.
But what was funny about the whole situation is he was frustrated because Phil didn't even give him a chance to cover Schnozman and Hole Punch. And I remember being there and running the panel. I was the one behind the teleprompter or whatever doing the transitions. It's just, it's ridiculous. Do tips help you more than anything? Tips help.
He
You can tip. You can
He didn't
sub.
get the
I don't
joke. Damn
care.
it. No, come
It's
on, man.
totally optional. I'm not gonna beg you for money. I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't need money.
Damn it.
I appreciate the support though.
You bummed me
I
out, Gamer
appreciate you guys
Jelly.
all being here. Ficus, you interact with detractors and get infected with the detractor. DSP is performing a quarantine.
Oh, yeah.
That-
We got to get
that
this
is
dude out of
very
the
funny.
Detractorverse.
That
We got to
is
save
very
this
true.
dude.
I'm infected. I'm like a goddamn zombie from Resident Evil. But when it comes to the whole thing with Phil, I met him back in 2013, was a mod, and realized that he was a piece of shit.
Yep.
I basically realized that he was not the guy who I was a fan of, and I walked. So let's see what the hell he has.
That
to
takes
say.
a lot of
He
string
goes
to
on
do
for a
that.
while about this.
I have anything to do with it? No. I don't even know what happened. I had lost contact with the kid. The kid had stopped coming to my stream, stopped watching my
The kid
content.
again.
To my understanding, what he told me was that he wasn't going to be able to actively watch my stuff or attend my streams anymore because his life was getting very busy. Like, he had personal stuff going on in his life. Something with his parents had a store, and he was getting older, so his parents were telling him that they had.
Again, this narrows it down quite a bit. DSP really doesn't get how this works. DSP doesn't understand how that game, Guess Who, works. I bet as a kid, DSP thought people were cheating when they played Guess Who with him. Because they'd say something like, is it a man? Yeah. Tap, 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 tap. Is he black? Well, no, I wouldn't pick a black guy. Okay, tap, 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 tap. Does he have a beard? And then so forth. And then you're down to one person. He's like, is it John? Dude, how did you figure that out? You cheated. It's like, man, it's the same process here. You're using a system of elimination. And anyway, I'm spoiling it. We'll get to that later.
Had to help him run the store and stuff like that. So, okay, I understand.
Why do you
that.
refer
Not
to
a
your
big
audience's
deal. I never
engagement as
asked that you be at
attendance,
every
Phil?
stream or every
Makes it sound
every,
mandatory.
or
Attendance
every
is
comment or every
mandatory.
video.
It's a mandatory concept.
Okay. That is the first thing that he is lying about.
Right, Neil.
I never made the
It's Dad.
excuse that I needed to go work at my parents' store, my dad's store, to basically quit. I walked.
Sorry
Phil,
about that, Cobain. I
I
apologize.
walked away. I didn't give you
Whoa,
any
look at that
notice.
transition.
I just walked. You left me a mod until 2017, 2018 when you came back to Twitch. I was still a mod.
Yes, Game Master.
I was fucking shocked when I walked in there and I was still a mod. You didn't give a shit. You didn't know. You're making up a bullshit narrative right now to try and say I made some excuse to leave. I walked, Phil. I didn't give you any notice. I didn't tell you jack dilly shit. And I'd be fucking shocked if you went and actually showed some proof of that. But knowing you, that ain't gonna fucking happen.
No,
pal.
that's not how this works.
That ain't gonna happen because
DSP's
you're
word is
afraid.
enough.
You wouldn't
Thank
even
you very
respond
much.
to me on fucking Twitter. I had to go on my alternate Twitter account just to try and say, dude, talk to me. You want to say something? Say it to my fucking face.
You had to block you on that
But
one too, huh?
Basically, he
I'm outta here.
decided.
This dude likes Goku.
Oh, he said something about his work. No, because back whenever I went to SGC and met you, motherfucker, I basically said, yeah, I work with my dad because my dad was with me. My dad and I came to Texas, hung out. And what's funny is about my dad knew he was going to be a piece of shit. He was like, dude, my dad was drinking that night. And I came back up to the hotel room after enjoying the con for the entire day.
Man, I miss good cons.
That Phil guy's a piece of shit. He's going to turn out to be nothing. I recommend you bounce. I'm like, nah, he's okay. He's not the best guy in the world.
Man, that dad was prophetic as hell, man. I would love to talk to that dad. What exactly did you see? What single action, dad, did you see that convinced you that this dude was a piece of shit? Because, I mean, we all come to that realization, but this dude, it was kind of like the Adam Kriegler speed run. Dude figured it out in a single day. That's pretty wild.
But he's okay. And I didn't realize how bad it was going to get. And then when the Amiibo video dropped, I knew how bad it was going to get. So basically, I walked. I didn't fucking give him any notice. I didn't say I wasn't going to be doing anything anymore. I walked.
Yeah, my dad was good about that too. He was
Back
good at
to
figuring
this
out who's a
bullshit.
loser and who's not. My dad would definitely clown
I
on
never
this
asked
dude.
that. You know what I mean? Like if you're busy with life, you don't have to moderate for me anymore. That's fine.
I would turn it. That's funny. I would tune into his streams, but I would rather honestly watch Soma Julius Cruz. Go subscribe to Soma Julius Cruz. He's
No,
really
that's not.
awesome.
No.
Yes,
Moving
I
on.
walk alone. Jesus Christ.
This DSP guy isn't gonna be
And
shit.
then, you know, not having contact with him.
Big
for
ups, old
years
dude. That
and
dude should hang
years,
out with Dave.
And then all of a sudden finding out now this guy hates my guts. Now this guy literally, you know, thinks he calls me a scumbag.
You are.
And all this. I'm like, no, wait a
You
minute.
are.
I haven't talked with you. You have no reason to feel that way, unless
So. Okay, I'll let him continue. And then I'm going to say my
you
point.
just got caught up with so much crap and so much negativity about me on the internet. You used to actually genuinely watch my content and love it, right? And
So that's how DSP sees it. It's really, really narcissistic. But DSP's perspective is that you actually can't be offended by anything I do. You just can't. It's not possible. If you have a negative opinion form about me, it had to be because of outside influences. It had to be because of the detractors. It had to be videos out of context. There's no conceivable way that you can watch me raw and uncut and dislike me. It just can't be done.
now
Yeah, I used to love your content back when it was
Bill's a
decent.
textbook con artist.
Back
and
when John
old
Rambo
timers can
was
see
doing
through it. That's
co-op
true.
with you, and you guys did the Resident Evil run, and I actually enjoyed your Mass Effect shit back in the day. I was a fanboy at the
You
time.
like the thugs on the floor?
I didn't wake up yet from your bullshit. And when I say you're a scumbag, yes, you're a scumbag. You're a manipulative son of a bitch.
Oh, oops.
You
Toxic.
are not a good person, Phil. Now, do I hate your guts? No. Do I hope something bad happens to you? No, because already bad shit's happening to you. You're already fucking in debt $500,000. You're a joke.
That kind of hit me out of nowhere.
You're a joke, Phil. And that's the truth of the matter. You're a fucking joke, and you're always going to be a joke. And how you survived over some
Ooh,
of
wow.
the much better, more talented content creators like the Creatures, which there's only one or two of them left that are still making
Never
content.
heard of those
like
dudes.
Dan pops up every once in a while.
I'm just not familiar with
Seamus
them.
is AFK. I don't know what the fuck happened to him. Nova is still doing great content. He does great live streams here on Twitch. And Kutra was a fucking son of a bitch who basically threw away friendship for business, just like you did, Phil. You
Who
threw
are these
away
other people?
friendship for
Do I
business.
know any of these people?
And that's why John Rambo turned against you. That's why Howard turned against you. That's
Right,
why
soldier.
everyone's
Well
turned
said.
against you. That's why no one wants anything to do with you. That's why no one gives a shit about you. And that's why no one ever wants to talk to you. And you know what's funny is you're so skeptical about everyone's intentions about you that you're
don't know
going to
anything about that
throw
son
it
of
all
weapons.
away. You throw away opportunities to go on the Peasants podcast, the Drunken Peasants podcast.
Well, Gamer J Lee obviously doesn't know the future, so he doesn't know that DSP did go on to be on an interview on the side scrollers, and we all know how that went.
Because their people are toxic. I can't deal with toxic.
Y'all have to look into these
toxic,
characters.
you motherfucker. Don't even get me started.
That's such a good
We'll
quote.
talk
I
the
like it.
Drunken Peasants podcast because their people are toxic. I can't deal with toxic. You're toxic, you motherfucker. Don't even get me started.
Now, apparently you hate it.
I'm good, Josuke. How are you?
I didn't change.
Yes,
In
you
fact,
did.
I didn't have any, again, no direct
Let's go in
contact with
economics.
this guy that he would just start hating on me. But it seems like that was a thing that happened with a lot of people.
No, and I'm gonna have to disagree with Gamer J Lee right there in that moment. Is DSP is right. He didn't ever change. Gamer J Lee is incorrect in saying that DSP did change. No. DSP has been a remarkably consistent individual. He has always been a dickhead. It's just what happens is that some people are decent people. Some people have this capacity to give people the benefit of the doubt. That's frankly to a degree that's self-destructive. It happens. So that's what happens with Darkside Phil. He never is nice to people, but you assume in the back of your head, well, maybe he's not that bad. No, it just never turns out that way.
People. At one point, when it was popular to like Darkside Phil on YouTube, when Phil was the underdog.
Yeah, it's EJ
man,
Stars.
He's
Well
the
said.
independent content creator who, strive to do things differently. He doesn't have sponsors. He doesn't have a team up with nobody. He's not on a team.
People wanted to team up with you, and then they realized how much of a dickhead you were. Are you fucking serious, Phil? You're saying that he doesn't have sponsors, he doesn't have any team ups. You were looking for sponsors, you
Yeah, good
motherfucker.
God, no, it was funny. Yeah,
This
DSP was
is
definitely
jokes.
looking for
This
it.
is hypocritical shit. He's always been looking for sponsors. He's always been trying to get deals. And yeah, the detractors cost him those deals, but it's also him and his toxic personality. The thing is that it wasn't your content that drove me away. It wasn't, these allegations of all this different skeptical shit. It was your behavior towards the people that supported you and would ask you such basic questions, but then you got all skeptic on them and accused them of being toxic or, trying to harass you. That's the truth.
And Darkside Phil, it goes along kind of like with the Side Scrollers podcast. And Side Scrollers podcast is probably the best example you're going to see this all in one moment. Is that people are pretty analytical. You have the capacity to figure out when things don't make sense by a pretty early age. I remember a lot of times hearing about the logistics of Santa Claus. I'm thinking this shit just doesn't really add up. I mean, it's a good thing he's magical. If he didn't have magic, I would say this is all bullshit. But he's got magic, so it works out. And what happens with DSP is that whenever someone has the capacity to question him in terms of I'm right there and I can talk to him right then and there, they're going to do it because DSP doesn't add up. His actions do not add up. His mentalities do not add up. His statements do not add up. His history does not add up. And so people will obviously notice that and then say, hey, man, I'm not really understanding you. Can you help to alleviate my confusion? And DSP, on some level, I don't even imagine it's deep. It's got to be pretty near the surface. He knows that's a dangerous... Oh, shit, that scared me.
Spend it on burgers.
Sociopaths are incapable of change because they are incapable of genuine empathy or introspection.
You're absolutely right, good God, no. That's very true. DSP never wants to change. He just wants the world to change to accept him. That's been what he's always wanted. And he feels that he has to do these little performative moments of change. I've changed, so you all have to love me now. It's all bullshit all the time. I've changed because I no longer say slurs out in the open. That's not really much of a change, bro. That's pretty default. Thank you again. I appreciate it. But DSP in his mind knows that he doesn't actually have answers. He can't make his story fit. He can't make the math work. He can't do it because he's lied himself into so many corners and created so many alternative clashing narratives. And that's why it is that he gets defensive and aggressive, because he knows that he will get exposed.
That's the truth of the matter, Phil. You're the problem, not the viewers. You don't know how to take criticism. You don't know how to take a joke.
He wants the world to accommodate level ones. And it's shocking how true that is.
Thank you very much for the follow, Trigger Happy. Much
Everything about his life is level 1.
He's not a professional. He just every day sits down like us and plays games and has fun. He's the genuine guy sharing his gameplay experience.
I've never would have thought that about
Dark
Dark
Top with his commentary, and he does all this stuff. That's how I got popular on YouTube. I was like the underdog guy, and people always had my back. It's like all of a sudden, somehow it just.
Also, I never understood this. I'm sorry. It's a quick aside. I'm sorry I paused so much here. I've never understood this mentality from Darkside Phil. Now, I get it that it's PR, where he thought that he was the underdog of the internet. Dude got fired and just started doing content all day. That's not really an underdog situation. Not really. Because then you transitioned into a new line of work. It's cool, I guess. It's cool that you managed to find something else to do. But it doesn't strike me as underdog. And furthermore, how exactly was he the underdog if he was so damn popular? The underdog is always rooted for, but never bet on. So how the hell is DSP going to claim to be the underdog when he had all these people betting on him? It just, again, it doesn't make sense.
Mob mentality, right? This weird kind of getting caught up in these.
He doesn't know what words mean.
Movement. Now just hate on Phil. It's like, but why?
He's
why
the underdog.
really?
Well, during the wedding night.
When you really ask people why don't they like me, there's no quick consensus.
Yeah, exactly, Declan.
No
Very
one
good.
had your back, Phil. No one did.
We
were there as fans, and we were happy to be moderators. We basically were fine with that. But as soon as we woke up and realized how big of a piece of shit you were and how you mistreated your viewers, especially your girlfriend at the fucking time, Leanna, she was a cunt. Straight up cunt. Not gonna lie. I had private talks with her on Xbox Live. She was a cunt. No joke. But the thing.
So we got some Panda Lee lore right there, but he was rather succinct about it. I'm a little frustrated by that. I wish he would have gone into more detail, but that's what happens when you got people who talk about Darkside Phil. They're just too polite. They're just too polite sometimes. And I know that it sounds really stupid for me to say that after he just called her a cunt 3 times, but he's polite in that he still maintains her privacy. So please don't be that polite.
Is that when it came to you, you would go in these little chat groups.
Yeah, I could see it.
And basically say, kick him out, ban him, ban this fucker from my chat. You were like Wings of Redemption. And it took me so long to wake up. And you know, the thing is that, yeah, I know that people are going to say, you were a moderator for him. You were a fan of him. Yeah, I was blind.
Yeah,
I was blind at the time. I'll admit that. I made mistakes. And the funny thing is that
I bet that's true, Neil.
The community, the people that basically realize that I'm criticizing him now.
You wanted that.
And I explained, look, I was a mod. I was a fan. And they're like, yeah, we were all fans too. It happens. Mm-hmm. You at least woke up and realized that he's a big piece of shit. It's just crazy.
It's the generic meme shit. Oh, he's a scammer.
Yeah, the pignosis does happen.
Yes, you are.
He did this horrible
thing. It does
thing.
happen.
He insults his fans. Like, but wait a minute.
That's the reason why I left. You insult your fans. You insult your fans. You insulted a guy for enjoying Meebos.
Yeah.
$200 to show $2,000 to show a cat.
Oops.
Exactly.
Oh shit, toxified. Ban this guy.
You manipulated your audience to earn money. Now, okay, I disagree with the pedophile shit. I'm not going to talk on that. But yeah, he's a greedy fuck. He's a scumbag. He's a manipulator. The whole pedophile shit, I'm not going to, until I see concrete 100% dead to rights proof, I can't speak on that.
It's important to remember that pignosis has its roots in something very real.
Crazy. And then when I hear about the
it's something I forget about a lot.
And I watched the whole stream. I didn't just watch clips. I watched the whole fucking stream. And the whole time he's like, oh, if we don't reach it, we're not going to do it. And then he goes on the corner and says, oh, yeah, I was going to do it. Of course I was going to show the cat, dude. It's for content, dude. No, it was to manipulate your audience and to give you more donations. Mm-hmm. Let's be fucking honest.
Exactly. It's very true.
You actually call out like definitive segments of things that there's proof of what you're saying. And they'll just bring up the conspiracy theories. They'll bring up the shit that the detractors say.
Detractors?
I just brought up legitimate facts.
Yeah, and I'm a little confused by that exactly. What is the conspiracy theories that we talk about? I'm trying to put myself in DSP's perspective here, which is a very dangerous perspective to put yourself. It's like some sort of nightmare realm. Your skin's on fire at all times. I don't recommend going into that perspective. Anyway, you got horrible gout, the worst gout that's ever been seen, ever. What exactly are we saying that's a conspiracy? The only one that I could think of that could even come close to a conspiracy theory is the whole escort saga. And that shit was debunked by the detractors. Because everything else is very well supported. And the things that aren't well supported, no one really takes that seriously because it's usually just kind of a joke. But for Darksideville, you just have to be a conspiracy theorist.
Stuff that you've tried to hide from your audience, motherfucker.
Exactly, Embode. 100%.
See this right here? You tried hiding that. You privated the fucking video, dude. Right there is the exact clip that really
Neil.
woke me up to your bullshit. And you hit it.
People thought it was in some capacity. It's kind of a complicated story, really.
I never have talked about you ever again whenever it comes to streaming or anything if you didn't talk about me.
Imbo, this is Gamer J Lee. It's probably one of my top 10 favorite Darksideville filler episodes. And DSP shit on this dude out of nowhere during one of his Minecraft streams, and this dude's watching it and giving his responses to it.
Because here's the thing,
He's
I
a
don't
former
like to be
mod.
lied about. I don't like to be said that I'm a detractor, I'm toxic and manipulative. No, I'm a dickhead. Yeah, that's for damn sure. But I'm not a fucking hate-filled son of a bitch like you.
Yeah, why exactly would you
my
private
viewers.
something, DSP? You got something to
appreciate my
hide?
viewers. And, you know, even if the people that that are in this
Different
chat right
character.
now that just came here for me talking about you, if they don't stick around, I still appreciate them. I still appreciate
That's
the
beautiful.
support
Very good.
that people have done to come in here and watch.
Yes,
You know,
Kobe.
is this
That's
stream
next.
good? Is it bad? I don't know. But all I know is that it's a joke. You're a joke. And the fact that you wanted to bring this up on your stupid live stream and basically you could have said my name, dude.
Clicktacular.
Say my name.
Kate Moving Company. Uh-oh. People are being
I'm not
negative.
afraid. Say my name. It's like the fucking Walter White thing. Say my name. Gamer J Lee. You're goddamn right. And people put it together. I was fucking chilling, and all of a sudden,
Yeah, that's why he.
By the way,
It's
thank you
exactly
guys so
why he
much for
doesn't
the
name
polls. I
names
really
because he
appreciate
knows that they're going to eventually find out.
I was chilling watching Dragon Ball with my girlfriend, and all of a sudden my phone starts blowing up. Hey, is this you that he's talking about? With a clip of this. Yeah. So it's literally a joke.
Frag
Thank you guys
Sonic.
so much for the support. I appreciate it.
None of that is true, you know. But this is the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Thank you guys
they
so
won't
much.
ever have evidence. They won't ever be able to
Watching
here's
Dragon
a
Ball with
video.
his
Well, that
wife?
video is a detractor saying that I was being bad and then taking an auto-reference clip that doesn't actually prove anything. But that's
Even if it was out of reference, I've gone back and done my research to get the full context. Is there times that people manipulate clips? Yeah. There are definitely times that people manipulate the clips to make you sound worse than you are.
I'm wondering. I'm trying to scan my memory for any moment really that DSP was legitimately taken out of context, and I really have a hard time finding one. I think there are moments where I don't think what DSP did was that bad. But when you combine it with, you know, just his general behavior and his general toxicity and his general hypocrisy, it becomes bad. But like even the cat scam thing, as much as it's a very divisive issue, I don't really see it as that bad. I think it's wrong that he was emotionally manipulating people, but I don't think it was wrong that he lied that he had a cat. Because again, it's a surprise. You're supposed to keep the surprise. But then he just never gave people credit. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that there are moments where I don't think I can think of DSP taken out of context for real, for real.
I've caught, you know, a ton of people doing it. But I'm smart enough to go and say, okay, let's go back
Yeah,
into
exactly.
context, ladies and
That's
gentlemen,
true.
and watch the whole thing. The whole thing, and you're still a piece of shit.
Oh
You
God,
still talk
Declan, that
down to
sounds
viewers.
terrifying.
If they ask you a question, you take it as hate.
Clicktacular.
Thank you, Jake. Much appreciated.
It's their evidence, and in their mind, it just becomes this mob mentality. This is true.
Yes, exactly.
And it seems like that's what
TJ
happened on the
Stars.
internet.
It's
Also,
very
making
toxic.
that snort noise to
It
make
wasn't
fun of him.
anything that I 100% ever said or did that completely turned everyone on me. It was that This Is How You Don't Play became popular on YouTube. And
DSP's kind of right. He's kind of right in that he's saying that there is not a single event that pushed people away. That's what's so cool about Darkseid, I feel. He will make sure to push away every single person. Just give him time.
became the popular thing to make fun of me by any means necessary to get a laugh or to get popularity.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
everyone moved along with this movement, right? Like, I hate to say it again. There's
Wait. I want to. Oh, he's gonna reference this here in a second. This cheer.
other streamers who people regularly tell me, "Oh, I can reference this thing the streamer did. That's absolutely ludicrous, over the top." That's
No,
why
I don't
everyone
really
hates
play it
that
anymore,
streamer."
Coyote Briggs. I
Okay.
still have my cards,
But
though.
what about me?
What
well, it's
about
just the usual
you?
things. You're a scammer. You're this or that. I'm like, yeah, but where's the evidence?
It's like a record player. Where's the evidence? Where's your proof that I'm a scammer? Okay, the cat. Okay, with the tax money, the money, the what was it? It was
Oh,
a
shit,
Project
Silent
7.
Weapons.
It was
That's a
something else
toxic
that
ass
he got
website.
like what,
The
5
toxic
grand
ass channel.
or something like that. The wedding. There's been tons of proof. And why in the fuck should we believe you if you say otherwise? You've lied to people enough times for us to basically want to walk.
And it's something that DSP will never truly be able to come to terms with, is that he can't salvage his reputation. Even if he really wanted to, even if he really wanted to make some sort of change or whatever, it's like, dude has gone too far down. He is so intrinsically untrustworthy that even if DSP was saying something that I know to be true, I will assume he's lying.
Why in the world would we believe a word that came out of your mouth?
DSP is the great repeller. I like it.
Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Burnell? Anyone?
Like, who is that? The
No, because you're fucking afraid.
You're talking about Dick
And here's
Stroking
the thing,
Film Vlog?
I'm a small YouTuber. I'm a small streamer. I'm a nobody. But I've gotten better equipment. I've worked my ass off, and I try and bring a better, more quality
Look at this.
content,
This arm?
content than you do. I try to actually entertain my viewers, interact with my viewers, and give a damn.
Mhm.
I'm not afraid of you. You're afraid of me. You're a manipulative cunt, and you can't do anything besides whine and bitch and drink.
That's all you
And
need to
that's
do,
what
really, to be
happens
successful.
whenever
I
you
learned that in
go
business school.
And you break every friendship you ever had. You break
Well, they
all the
backstab
trust
me.
with your viewers, with your friends.
Yeah, it was a 2K
and you
reveal. It's true.
backstab everyone. Who's the token guy? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean.
You're gonna have to like send me a tweet or something, because I don't know what the token guy is.
So the whole thing with the cat reveal is it was 1K. It was indeed 1K was the goal. However, there was something else attached to it. DSP said that if we make more than that, we might get something in addition to it. That something in addition to it never happened. Now, I don't know if that memory gets conflated sometimes, but it was 1K for the original cat reveal. And then what happened was DSP got the 1K, started showing off the cat, and then he got another K. And it felt like that second K was prearranged because he just came in and donated it. So that's, it's still suspicious behavior.
Or the token guy. I have no clue who this is. So, all right, back to this horse shit.
There's no evidence because none of it's fucking true. The things that people hate me for are untrue.
DSP, I don't like you because you're mean to people. You're just disrespectful to people all the time.
Sexual references that were sexist.
If you're talking about me sending
exactly like a breaking
DSP a email, I can't because he blocked my email address.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, DSP's he's open anytime you want to talk to him.
He blocked my email. I tried actually emailing him a few times, and it literally says, because I use Outlook, it literally says your message could not be sent because provider has blocked it.
Yeah, TJ Stars. Another thing to remember about it. It was a very scummy moment.
3 or 4 years.
The part that I just don't necessarily
right?
find wrong is
Oh,
when he was
well, he's a
lying
scammer.
about having
Well,
the cat.
there's-
Because
everything that
again, it's
everyone
just
said
part of
about
the
Okay,
surprise.
scammer
But everything else was
was
shitty.
based on the premise that somehow I was lying about money and I actually had a ton of money and I was just greedy and I needed more. Well, now you've seen my financials. You see how bad and what dire.
Oh, I just saw this in the chat. Minecraft, my DSP Minecraft Mirror. I'm the one that recommended him the equipment. And Insane Matt in the chat and Quake Man, if they're in there, can verify that for me.
I don't
I'm
remember
the
this
one that
this
recommended
piece of
him
lore.
that equipment, and he even says that in the
You
video.
might like some new stuff coming out there.
I recommended him the capture card that he uses. I recommended him the microphone and the interface he uses. I was the one that suggested that shit.
That's a good subject of discussion here. Is if you break down everything about Darkside Phil's content, you will tend to find that almost everything came from someone else. His excuse me. His use of Streamlabs came from John and Howard. If I have my information correctly, they got that from him. Or he got that from them. A lot of his equipment he got completely recommended. This dude has never really done anything for himself aside from a handful of things, but past a certain point in his history, he just stopped. Everyone just give me everything. I can't do anything. I'm too stupid.
At the time, I was like, dude, you need a better mic. This is what I'm using. I recommended all that shit.
Straight I'm in, and then I'm actually an insane dad, and everything that I've said over the years has been true. So what's your rationale now? See what I mean? But this is the thing. Whenever people say they don't like Darkside Phil, they bring up these generalized things.
That'd be cool,
then you call
Doomer
them out and
Ziggy.
say,
I'd
well, what's
appreciate
your
it.
evidence or what's your proof of what you're saying? Because it sounds like bullshit, and then they move the goalpost to the next thing.
Big
Okay,
fan
I
of
just
your
got a
deep
highlight
dives, by the
message
way,
from
Doomer
Lol
Ziggy.
Cow Phil.
Good stuff.
Do you agree, Phil, in the problems he is in because he doesn't bother to improve himself or his career? I think it's definitely his fault. He's in fault because of himself first, and then a little bit because of people that are detractors of him. A little bit. People that criticize him are not the main problem. People.
I will say this until I'm blue in the face. I did not spend Darkside Phil's money. There is a definitive limit to what the detractors can do to Darkside Phil. And it's pretty damn defined because of the whole no touch to poo standard. There is only so much we can do.
You have money, you scam people, you're going to spend it on burgers?
So DSP.
Weaponized incompetence.
Well, there you go. Exactly. Weaponized incompetence. Thank you very much. Good God. No, that's pretty much where I was going with this. DSP's stupidity, his incompetence, his greed, his myopic tendencies, his inability to plan for the future past like 20 minutes, that has done far more damage to him than anything any one detractor or hell, any 5 detractors have done. We could never have dreamed of doing the amount of damage that DSP did to himself.
Do contact these companies and they do cost him sponsorships. But the
Gyopic,
thing is
there we
that
go.
then once we contact
I like
them or
Gyopic.
people contact these sponsorships, they look into it and say, yeah,
This guy's
he
toxic.
is a dick. Why would we want to work with him? It's not always the detractor's fault. It's also his fault, and he needs to take ownership of that.
No,
and
he
realize
was just
that
out of
he
context,
cost
man.
himself more than anything. He cost friendships, money,
Right, Neil?
and relationships. He lost trust in his community. It's it's basically he won't improve. Now, here's the thing. I've seen tons of people do clips from their live streams. He's doing low effort content. Honestly, I don't care if it's low effort as long as it's entertaining, but it's not even that.
Yes.
It's not even entertaining anymore.
Yes.
It used to be entertaining back whenever he was 2009, 2010, but then it started to die.
As much shit as we give Darkside Phil, we really do have pretty realistic standards, I feel. The only reason that they are a little bit more magnified in terms of our standards for Darkside Phil is because of Darkside Phil. If DSP was Gamer J. Lee and had, a relatively small channel with a relatively small group of people, you could kind of understand it. Hell, I could understand it 100% if DSP worked a 40-hour job. I could completely understand his laziness. Dude's busy, man. He's out there working all day and he comes home and he wants to stream. He doesn't want to set up OBS all night. I mean, to some degree, I understand. But DSP just takes it to that extra level where it's, dude, you're doing this professionally, man. This is your job. And you live at your workplace. What excuse do you have?
And I still held on for a little bit and then I dropped.
Yeah, the DBZ figures look cool. I like this.
Yes,
I like this Gotenks right
No,
here.
you know, I'm gonna show you guys something. I want to show you guys something. If you guys want to see some good streaming content, here. You want to see some good streaming content?
No, don't link me.
Let's go to this.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Where is it?
Let's do, which clip should we show?
Yeah, let's see some good
this
stuff.
Right here.
Yeah, Halo.
Let's show this one. Get the guy. There's literally.
Oh shit, he's got like little animations coming up. No, that's impossible.
Oh shit! Bye. Oh my god, he just blasts off again. I can still see his body moving.
Man, it's like Team Rocket back there. I can't even see the guy.
And it's gone. I at least put effort into growing my audience. He's just hoping to God.
Well, that was a little weird because when he did the shotgun blast, he didn't say, whoa, whoa, whoa. Did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that? Whoa.
That he
amateur.
Basically grows based off of.
No, I can't figure that out.
He's not doing any work. He's not trying to do edits. He's not trying to make good content. You know, I've got friends that do just streaming, but they do work. They make good content. Soma Julius Cruz, he fucking goes and takes all of Phil's work and makes it good. Makes it entertaining. Ugh. Stumble on my words.
No, I get you, man. I do that all the time.
Hope that the whale signal will bring.
Yeah, Soldier. And
you know what's funny?
I can almost understand it more if he didn't just live there.
One of the videos,
you can't tell me you can't just go into your room and start a download.
A stream I caught of his, where someone said, you should check out the whale game this year.
Uh-oh.
I'm sure everyone would be dying to watch you finish. I was like, oh, fuck me. That was brutal. I was like,
should play the detractor.
Fuck me. Don't. I was like, that was bad. Then you had what was it? It was in Red Dead Redemption 2. He's streaming. Oh my God. Thank you, Third Eye the Third, for the 100 bits.
Hey, who's that?
Okay, I'm gonna have to read this shit. Hold on.
Ban that dude.
Let's see what Third Eye the Third had to say. I think you're jealous of DSP. He has a successful business. Not.
No,
a
not really.
Swimsuit model wife. Not.
Well, which kind of swimsuit are we talking about?
Here, 2 houses and a very smart cat. I'll take his cat. His cat's cool.
Yeah, the cat's all right.
Jasper is fucking. He's cool by me.
How do you put him in crazy work because he's more generous? Yeah.
He cornered the market where everyone around him creates the content for him. 200 IQ. Now, here's the thing. What's funny about
I think he was just
no. We're not gonna ban the troll. He's just. I can't tell if he's just stupid or if he's a troll. Either way, thank you for the 100 bits. Much appreciated, dude. Let's see your sub. What the fuck are we talking about?
Third Eye the Third's been around.
We're talking
for
about
a
Dark
long
Side
time.
Phil. He
Dark
talks shit
Side
about
Phil.
me.
I don't like that guy.
He brought me up in his thing. He sprays Jasper with a water ball. He said so himself. I've got 2 cats.
I mean, sometimes I sprayed my cat with a water ball, but it was like
shit over
kind
here
of a last resort.
Or knocking over statues. I'm like, nope, don't do that. It's okay.
And only when they were little. When they were older, they knew better.
His cat or something like that, then I would.
Let's go in Little Shadow.
Water ain't gonna hurt a cat.
Douse the cat. You just give him a quick spray, and you're like, all right, get off the counter.
Look here, listen. All right, let's get back to this shit show.
It's kind of what I do with Dark Side Phil. When he gets up on the counter, I spray him with the water bottle. Get down, Phil.
Because in reality, these people don't dislike me. In reality, these people like the idea of disliking me. They don't genuinely hate me. They actually want to be a part of this movement where everyone hates me together so that they can feel like a piece of something that's a big movement. It's the right thing, the cool thing, the fun thing to do.
It is.
To hate on Darkside Phil rather than actually having.
That's true, Cobain. Cats are bastards anyway.
You see? Or else how could you have someone like this kid?
Spray him. Stop it, Phil. Now.
I swear to God, if you call me a kid one more fucking time, dude. One more fucking time.
But it's what exact? Okay, I'm gonna answer my own question. What exactly is wrong about enjoying a community where you enjoy making fun of something? What exactly is inherently wrong with that? It's the reason why there's people who like Mystery Science Theater. People like making fun of movies that are bad. It's not a bad thing to enjoy crapping on things to a degree. It's not even a bad thing to enjoy crapping on a person. There's people who make fun of celebrities all the time. You know, you got Taylor Swift. People love shitting on Taylor Swift. I'm sometimes one of them because I just find her kind of obnoxious. But, you know, I don't know her. You know, she could be a huge Dark Side fan or Dark Side Phil fan. And I don't even know. She's actually OIC. There's the new lore. But Dark Side Phil, of course, sees this as some grand offense against him. You can't just rally around your disdain for me. Well, why exactly? Why not? Why is that just inherently wrong?
If he calls me a kid one more time throughout the last bit, I hope he finishes up this rant soon because he's called me a kid like 8 or 9 times. 8 or 9 times.
You don't like the Chiefs?
I'm 26 now, going on 27.
I used to live in Kansas City.
I was 19 at the time when I met him. I was.
There was a Project 7 fan, big fan.
What the fuck?
Genuine fan. Years later, with no contact with this kid, now he hates me. It's like,
well, you don't need to have
does he
contact with
make
the
any
person to
logical
dislike
sense?
them.
Of course not.
I disliked you when you banned me. You blocked me on Twitter. You blocked my email. You banned me and removed me from your Twitch. That's whenever I disliked you. I don't hate you. I pity you, motherfucker. I pity you.
That's true as well, Kate.
You are sad.
There
Pathetic.
you go.
I pity you.
You are pitied, Phil.
I don't hate you. I pity you. Because literally, all he's doing is burying his own life. He's killing. He's just killing his own career, and he doesn't realize it. I pity him. He's so ignorant to what he does that he doesn't help himself, and I don't think he could. I don't think he could. Because anyone who doesn't agree with him entirely is a child to him. That's it.
Yeah, that's really it.
Yeah, that could be it. I pity the fool. Yes, exactly. See, I can do better impressions than Phil. Like everyone says, oh, he's great at fucking doing commentary. No, he ain't.
No, he's not. He's really bad.
Shit.
He's really bad
All he's
at
good
commentary.
is getting mad and blaming others.
I was watching his Soul Blade too. Man, that dude's commentary is atrocious. Like he has nothing to say. I've never seen this before. The only people that I've seen this before is every once in a while I'll talk to a friend about streaming or whatever, and they'll say, yeah, man, I don't know if I could do that. I don't really talk when I play video games. And I tell him, you're bound to be better than Darkside Phil because he doesn't even do that. He doesn't even give you the comfort of silence, which is quite something. DSP will deny you even that. He'll goat laugh. He'll say, oh, wow, oh, wow, okay, oh, wow. What does that mean? It's so confusing.
Problems.
A logical mind doesn't act like that. A logical mind
Yeah,
is
maybe
analytical. You want evidence. You want proof. You don't believe every conspiracy. You don't jump on every funny viral video to make fun of someone. Instead, you give someone...
Trust me, I haven't jumped on every conspiracy that's ever been brought up about DSP. All I've done is criticize him for the things that he's done on these streams.
Yeah, it's
and
just
the
you
things
being
that
a
I've
dickhead.
seen him do.
It's really not that
repeatedly.
deep.
It's not like it's just a rumor that I got heard. Oh, he did this. He took money from this and hid it in a third account. No, I didn't believe that. I believe whenever it happens on the stream and I see the shit.
Exactly.
The truth is, Phil said Halo is gay, lol, and Gamer never saw him the same again. Well, dude,
Wait,
actually,
I might.
one time.
I don't know about that. I didn't know about DSP saying that Halo was gay. Now I know LTG doesn't like Halo. Now I know that DSP shit all over Halo ODST. I don't remember him saying that it was gay. That seems kind of weird. Might have to look into that.
The one time I actually think I agreed with him was during one of his countdowns where he brought up Halo 5 and said that it was a shell of its former self. I actually agree with that. It's a shell of its former self.
Well, DSP
and
just
if they don't change
occasionally
it in the
is
next
right
game,
through
it's
sheer
going to
luck.
be
Man.
the end of Halo. I agree with that. That's
Yes,
the
he
one
was
smart
very
thing he
homophobic
said
about Guilty
in the
Gear.
past.
It was
Jesus
intense
Christ, what,
how homophobic
11
he was
years
about that game.
of making content. I don't know. I have no fucking clue.
the benefit of the doubt. You
Yes,
give him a
Jake.
chance. You actually watch the content for face value instead of saying, "Oh man, Phil said that Kobe Bryant's death is the same as a game save corrupting." You're actually there for the stream where we had a really
You did
honorable
kind of say
discussion
it.
about
It's just
the
bad
achievements of
taste.
Kobe
That's
Bryant as a
all. I
good
mean, come
person
on,
and the
man.
good things that he's done, and the fact that him passing away in the way that he did so early in his life was an incredible loss to humanity.
Yeah, like
And
losing your saves. I
never
get it,
did I
man.
ever
I'm
compare
there.
the two as the same thing. But that's what I mean. Like, you
I've
actually
been there, man. I lost my
That's
saves.
one thing
in
that
a
I think
helicopter
that
crash.
people did kind of take him out of context on was the whole Kobe thing. I think he just said he was having it was a bad day because two
And
bad things
honestly,
happened.
it's just a matter of
He
like
should
bad
never
taste. Like, just
even
don't
brought
say
it up in
stupid
that
shit
way,
like that. That's it,
but
man.
I can't believe he actually did that. I can't believe
It's just
he was
disrespectful.
Like, oh,
that's
first
all.
Kobe dies and now it's save. It's like, you know, it means you're having a bad day. You should have explained that better instead of saying that.
Yeah, it's just bad
It's
taste,
hard
bro.
to sit here and watch this because literally he's just complaining over
Right, like it, Reggie?
something that happened in the past. It's a joke. It's literally a joke.
really have to believe that and not just say, "Oh, no, he just did it. I just believe it because I want to believe the negative about Phil." I don't think there's anything that
But I
ever
can
said or
just
did
watch
that
it.
actually caused the hate against me. I think it was that viral movement of popularity on YouTube. It became the popular thing to hate Phil, and that
No, it didn't.
No, I really
I didn't
didn't.
hate you even whenever the
I hadn't
hate was
heard
at
this
its
dude.
fucking peak.
I didn't hear about this dude
I
for
never
a long
hated you
time.
whenever it was at its peak. I hated you afterwards, well, disliked you because of the actions that you took. How did you feel when he used his diseased friends
Yeah, for real, silent
and
weapons.
Etika for money? His deceased friends and
Mhm.
Etika for money?
Yep,
I thought it was fucked up.
yep. He put
I thought
ads on
that
those
was
videos,
fucked up.
buddy.
Let's see here. He might legit have something wrong. He doesn't pick up on social cues.
It's true.
Wait, are you talking about the guy in the chat or are you talking about Phil? Because either way, I think I agree with you.
that's what it always is. It's never.
I think that's about because I know that Steve of the Dead gets very intense about this, especially on Twitter. He damn near screaming on Twitter. He does resent when people suggest that Darkside Phil might be autistic. But I would say that autism definitely exists on some capacity on a spectrum. There are people who just have a small drop of autism. And there are some people who are drowning in it. It just goes between those 2 points. And I think that DSP to some degree does lack an understanding of social cues. Because you saw it in those Howard and John videos or Howard and John video, I wish it was videos, where John is just, Howard and John are just frustrated because they would have this conversation with DSP multiple times. Dude, you can't do this. You cannot do these behaviors. And Darkside Phil would say, okay, I get it. I understand what you're saying. I'm going to do them again. I hope you guys understand that. And then they'd have the conversation with him over and over again. And so I do think on some level, Darkside Phil's autism manifests only through his inability to understand social cues. And beyond that, I would say it just doesn't exist. Like a lot of the other things that people say are autistic about Darkside Phil, I would attribute to other things more, like his insatiable need for control.
Whenever Phil keeps doing things to piss people off,
I could see that
people
as well,
just keep
Superfluous
fabricating
Moniker.
things to
But
make
I'm saying that
people
that's the only
feel
thing I could see
justified in
being
hating
autism.
Phil because the movement continues, because people continue to get popularity from it. That's all I could think of, though. Like, because
Oh, in answer to your question, Wilson, Steve of the Dead is very, he's very clinical. He's very much a clinical psychologist. So I get the impression from him that he gets a little annoyed when people drift into pop psychology, which as that's my degree as well. I can understand. I do get annoyed by it too. But I also think that DSP, you got a little bit of grounds to maybe think about it.
Again, I'll admit in the past I made many mistakes. All the things I said in the racist jokes and insults to game developers and stuff. That hasn't happened
Yes,
in
Doomer
so
Ziggy.
long.
I liked his
outright come out
Lost
You
Planet
literally
one.
went after one of the developers, the guy behind the music on Apex Legends. Are you fucking
Yeah, this dude goes
kidding
after
me?
people all the time for
Hold
nothing.
on. He says, I haven't done it in so long. Apex Legends. Does anyone else have
That's
any
true as well,
any
Soldier.
other like recent-ish ones where he went after a developer? I know Apex Legends was one of the big ones that a lot of people covered.
Dude, he's gone after nearly
Apex.
every dev. There's a shorter list of
Let's
people
see if
who
anyone else.
DSP hasn't
Someone
gone
said
after.
Activision.
He shits on everyone.
R2
Everyone's gonna get a turn.
remake Capcom told them to fuck themselves and they should be fired.
Yep.
When
That
did
applies to
happen?
like
I'm
50
gonna have to go
different
back and
companies,
see if
dude.
Soma made a video on that.
Yeah, I remember Ziggy watching DSP and him play Lost Planet 2.
What dev
He was getting pretty
hasn't he
annoyed.
gone after? Exactly. This guy's kind of retarded.
And it didn't help that DSP kept
Nintendo.
shitting on him
True.
too.
That was a million years ago, dude.
Yeah, that was like a million years.
Oh my
At
God.
least a
no,
million.
like literally. Death Stranding. Okay, here's the funny thing when it comes to Death Stranding. I'm not even a big fan of Metal Gear Solid or any of that. I'm not a fan.
Loser.
But I'm not
Get him
gonna,
out of here.
like say, oh, he sucks because he made a game and I don't like it because I'm not good at it. No, it's not my type of game. No disrespect. I'm just not a fan.
DSP wanted people fired
Literally,
for having an
if you say
unskippable
anything
cutscene. Never
about
forget that.
it and people don't understand, you're just saying, I'm not a big fan. That's it. But Phil's actually gone after developers and said, oh, they're pieces of shit. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing, dude.
Yeah, clearly they were
It's one of those things
me,
where he just literally is unaware to his own fucking shit fest.
Out and apologized a million times, saying, "Man, I really know that the stuff that I did back then was wrong."
You've never
So
really
what else do
apologized,
you
DSP.
want
You've
from
always
me?
rationalized your
Maybe if
apology.
you didn't repeatedly do
I'm
the same
sorry,
thing
but it's not an apology.
over and over
It's just not.
and over again.
I learned that in
and
first
repeatedly
grade,
make
dude.
the same mistakes over and over and over again. Maybe there could be some development. Maybe people could start enjoying your content again. But you do nothing to turn public opinion about you.
Exactly.
Hell, Wings
100%.
of Redemption has earned more respect than you have.
Yeah, exactly, Greg of the
But
Lake.
now he's already starting to lose it because of considering doing copyright claims on different YouTubers.
Yeah, drinking games with dark side feels very dangerous.
That I've changed, so basically, it doesn't ever matter if I ever improve. I'm always fucked.
Didn't SOK used to do that? Didn't they used to do drinking games with dark side Phil?
Giving anyone a real chance. You know what I mean? So because I made mistakes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, that's it. I'm just a laughingstock of the internet forever because you just fucking won't grow up and give me a chance.
This guy will hold a grudge against a person for 10, 15, 20 years. This dude will be pissed as shit for you doing something tiny and minute forever. This dude is still crying about the side scrollers, even though realistically speaking, the side scrollers did nothing wrong. Using DSP's logic, the side scrollers did nothing wrong. They wanted to do a stream. They wanted to do it their way. They wanted to do the content as they wanted to do. They did their thing that they wanted to do. They gave their thoughts on Darkside Phil. They gave their honest opinion. And then they made some money in the process. And to this day, DSP wants them dead. So, but yeah, DSP's
Again,
punished.
I'm 26 years old. I was a fan
I
of you
think
back
Phil's
when I
most
was like
obsessed with engagement popular because that's
teenager, and then
others
up
forgetting
till
like
I was
he used to have
19,
popularity. Yes,
and then I moved
yes.
on. I was a fan. I was an adult. I
Envy
grew
is
up.
most powerful
I'm
with
doing pretty
proximity.
damn good for myself. I own my own apartment. I don't own any debt.
Oh yeah.
I'm doing pretty good for myself. I
Well,
got a
real
pretty damn
businessmen
good
have
setup.
debt,
If you
dude.
look, Shure SM7B, an actual good mic arm.
Yeah, Banana Jones, that was a good joke.
I'm doing pretty good
I
for
mean, it was
myself.
a good
I grew up.
prank they pulled on him. I think it was
I've got
funny.
a girlfriend that's moving in with me who is
She gonna watch
actually
Dragon Ball?
being a contributor and helping me grow. What is your wife doing?
Growing.
That's my question. I'm a snappy dresser. Oh, thank you. If that's
Are
a
you?
compliment
I
towards
don't know
me,
about all that.
thank you. I think I am a better dresser than Phil. Plus, I'm not having as much gray as he does in his beard.
And actually check this stuff out and see that I have changed, that I haven't been lying to you about the horrible things that have been going on in my life behind
But
the
yeah,
scenes
it's absolutely true,
because
Meth
of
Bear.
this
A lot of
whole
envy
fucking
is most
fucked up
powerful
people
with
have done to me over the
proximity.
years. Like,
He
I've
sees
been
all
through
those views,
of
and those
that,
are supposed to be his
but people
views.
just don't want to fucking believe it. And
It's
I
like
can't
if someone
make
wins the
someone
lottery and you've
believe
never met the
anything.
dude, you're not going to be that envious.
Especially now
But
the
if you met
facts
the
are in
dude
front
and
of
he
their
won the
face, but they're
lottery,
still saying I'm a
well,
liar. It's like
then that envy
there's
kicks in.
nothing else I can do to prove anything to you. You know, everything is out there, everything is exposed, and you know, there's
Completely
no way I'm going to
exposed.
change any of this shit. So no, I don't ever feel that there's anything that
Exactly,
like,
Bill
oh my
Babe.
god, it's because Phil did this. This is why the trolls came after him or whatever. No, it's because people found that there's this viral popularity in being toxic in being
But
negative.
DSP, I
and
learned from
being
you, man.
drama-filled and being
That's why there's
basically
7, Lackey Bracky.
ruining other people's lives at the expense of a laugh or your own
DSP
popularity on YouTube.
inspired
We'll
that.
figure this out. I was one of the very
I made
first test
that.
cases of it.
Okay, this is where I have to basically say something. Now, if that was the point, when it comes to me, and if I'm basically this #1 detractor of you,
That's a good one, Greg.
why is my channel, and let's just bring it back over to here, right? Let's bring it back over. Why is my channel mostly gaming content? Like my most popular content, March update for the Xbox 3 years ago, Ruby, you've got WWE stuff, Halo. Thank you very much for the follow. Best frog.
He kind of makes a good point here, and I want to address this as well. Darkside Phil will go on these spiels about how if it wasn't for him, all the detractors would be basically drifting in obscurity, which, to be completely honest, that might be true. Like, for example, if I just never did Darkside Phil content, I might not have a lot of views. But here's the way I look at it. Everyone is skilled in multiple things, or they enjoy multiple things. I enjoy playing video games, I enjoy building model kits, and I enjoy watching Darkside Phil and making fun of them. One of those is more popular than the others. Why wouldn't I just lean into the thing that people lean into the thing that people are more likely to enjoy? Why wouldn't I want to do that? And furthermore, what is wrong with doing that? DSP just assumes these things are inherently wrong, and I've never quite understood that.
In the bog.
Oh, that's true as
well,
well,
my dude. The Switch, talking about Logitech, Undertale unboxing, me and Matt doing unboxings of the knives. Can we look at the playlist of this? I want to see some of my most popular content. My grandmother playing VR. You've got
Exactly, Doomer Ziggy. It's true.
Halo action figures. What else do we got? Oh, the 1 bit of drama I covered.
That's very well said.
The 1 bit of drama. Mundane Matt fucking false flagging people.
Oh no, that's toxic,
it.
negative content.
What else do we got here?
Take down the video.
Rest in peace, Toe Biscuit. Someone who I actually respected, not monetized.
Didn't
but
put any
did it as
ads
a
on there?
tribute to someone who was respected in the gaming community. More Halo,
Yeah, exactly,
video,
cool,
WWE.
And people will like you for your interests as well, but give people mostly what they want.
I don't think
of course,
so.
people come in and say, "Hey, I'd like to see you build a model kit." It's like, I'm sure you do, but
talking
I
about
understand
Ninja,
more people want to
maybe?
see Phil. So
That's it. No,
I'll build it sometime.
I don't know. I mean, how many YouTubers has he talked about in his videos and made whole segments basically bitching about him? That's what
I'm almost done with one of my
daily.
models. I got to show it off when I'm done.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, man. It's just content, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's just out of context stuff.
And people don't want to take
That's pretty funny,
responsibility
Silent
for the
Weapons.
fact that those viral videos basically made me into a living joke rather than someone who
Oh,
was
Jim
like an
Cornette,
ultimate
yeah.
Exactly,
meme
Gunpla.
creation.
Yeah, me and Jim got into it. That dude hates my guts. I'm blocked on Twitter by Jim. But
Who's
Jim's
Jim?
a fucking idiot.
We're
Great
talking about
promo
Medicare?
work. Someone who I love his promo work, but he's a piece of shit.
Oh,
So,
not Medicare.
Okay, 3 instances of talking about drama. We got Mundane Matt talking about Ninja at one point when Ninja was actually enjoyed by a lot of people, and Jim Cornette. That's about it.
Yeah, that's
Content
very
on
fine.
YouTube.
DSP
And now my
does
life is
extended
fucked
segments about
permanently
people all the
because of it,
time.
Again, not saying I never made any mistakes. Absolutely.
Oh,
I
okay,
did.
I see.
But
Right.
you have
Thank
to
you for.
acknowledge
I appreciate that.
I agree with that. Lol cow Phil. I agree with that entirely. His promo against Vince Russo. I can find a stick. I got a bat. I don't give a fuck. That was like the best promo ever.
People going
Boy,
in there
I feel
actively
so confused when people
violating
talk
the
about
law
wrestling.
to impersonate people
It's like
illegally and
alien
get false
culture to me. I
copyright
know
strikes
nothing
and
about it.
destroying my income for 2 fucking years.
Who
has
violated
to
the
have
law,
to
DSP?
somehow contribute to the fact that I'm in the position that I'm in.
Stop,
right
you're
now.
under arrest.
Yes, I make terrible decisions, but it wasn't 100% me. You know what I mean?
Money you scam people,
Oh
you
my
don't
god,
spend it on burgers.
these guys are in the water.
Most people will like you if they think you're cool, and they won't if they don't. Bugged social intelligence mechanics.
Dude, I feel you on that, good God. No, it's complete bullshit. There's really nothing you could do. Like, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do to make people like me. I'm snorting, I'm begging, I'm T-posing, I'm making my drama everyone else's business, I'm banning people. Like, I'm completely at a loss as to what I need to do to make you idiots like me. I guess we're just going to have to start with a round of bannings. All right, it's easier if you all just kind of like line up.
Water.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
In the fucking water here. I gotta go.
We just got a donation by
Yeah, it happens,
Mr.
Cyber
Hunt,
Ladies, man. It happens.
or Mr. Hurst,
And that's
or
perfectly
whatever.
fine.
I'm so sorry for mispronouncing your name. I trust in
I just
Third
never
Eye
really
the
got into it,
Third.
Rainy.
I unfortunately I can't tell. Humph? Huh? I don't know. Mr. Huh. All right. People are correcting me in the chat. My bad, boys. I apologize sincerely.
It's cool, man. Moving on.
Around them. But that's the thing. Everyone wants to just again going along with the meme. It's
Yeah, Dead Freak in the chat. Yeah, that
This
is
music
true.
suits
You
this
told me about how
complaint.
he got your friend's design taken down. Fuck Jim Cornette.
all on Phil. Phil's the laughing stock. Phil's the joke. Phil made all the mistakes. Phil did everything. It's fucked up stuff.
But
It's
you
messed up.
did
It's
it,
almost
man.
like cancel culture before cancel culture
Yeah,
existed.
DSP invented
You know what I mean?
cancel
Like,
culture.
I was the test case for cancel culture. Let's make Phil the laughing stock.
DSP
of
was the
YouTube.
beta for cancel
Almost
culture.
overnight, you know?
You were a laughing stock on YouTube as far back as I believe 2009, 2010.
Yeah, dude, you've been a laughing stock for a long time, bro.
I don't see. I
It's
don't
kind of
see
impressive.
Any reason why we should give a shit what you have to say. Also, here's a good question, right? Here's actually a good question, and maybe someone in the chat can answer this for me. Sorry about that. I keep misclicking. If I was doing this for donations or subscriptions or anything, right?
Yeah.
All I'm gaining is followers and a few, bits here and there. Okay.
Kinda toxic, but okay.
That is totally cool. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. It really does mean a lot to me that people actually enjoy this. If I was trying to manipulate, wouldn't I have just gone to this and showed you guys my donation tickers or
Yeah. How do I give you money?
You guys that and been like, hey, if you guys want to support me, you can
Wait,
subscribe.
do
or something.
you put on a hat?
That's just
Well, you already got the
out there.
glasses.
It's not like I'm begging for it and reminding you, please subscribe and stuff. No,
Well said, Imbode.
I literally
Troll vids
set
go
up
back
this
as far as
stuff
2009. That's
just because
wild,
of the
man.
DSP thing.
This dude's
Because
been
it's not part of my
shitting-
regular
been shit on his
shtick,
whole
it's
life.
not part of my regular content. It's literally just me playing and talking about Phil because he wanted to start shit. I'm gonna finish it.
Yeah.
Back to Dill. Back to Phil.
The
It almost
Phil.
happened
The Dill.
overnight.
Dill pickle
Because I
motherfucker.
was hyper popular.
Phil
And
is
all
nothing
next
like
thing you know,
Dill
the site
Pickles at
only
all.
hits, and now all of a sudden, within 2 years, I'm a joke.
Dill
and
is a
everyone's making fun
weirdo,
of me,
but
everyone
not like
wants to
this.
laugh at me and say I'm a villain.
If you're looking for ways to tip, it should be down below.
And like I
Tips
said,
help more than anything.
Longtime fans like this kid who I had met at a convention years ago.
Oh,
all
I'm a
of
kid
sudden-
again. I'm a fucking kid again.
Small
God
children.
fucking damn
Small
it,
children at the
dude.
con.
I swear to God.
Yeah, that's true as well, Superfluous Moniker.
I'm a
This dude's
fucking
life
kid
should be
again,
far more
Jesus
miserable,
Christ.
quite frankly, but
becomes
he's
my
never going to be
biggest hate.
thankful that it's
like,
not.
I don't even understand it.
He doesn't have anyone jumping the
What can you
fence.
do?
He doesn't have any hookers being
Anyway,
called to his front
that's
door.
enough of that. No, it was not Eric. One killer
You
told me
had
no,
money,
it wasn't
scared
Eric Lord.
people,
No,
you
it was not
didn't
Eric
spend it
Lord
on
at all.
burgers.
That's not who I'm referencing.
Every accomplishment belongs to Philip.
Almighty Dark.
Every injustice was actually committed against Philip.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works. Good God, no. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's DSP does inspire me. I really wish I could be as perfect as him. I wish I could be a person where nothing I did wrong at all. Everyone's just been acting in against me in a concerted effort. When you put it that kind of way, DSP's life perspective makes a lot of sense, Everyone on the entire planet is trying to hurt me. Well, at least at that point, you know what the score is, right?
Dark Piggy to me $5. Was it Eric Lord or Sedella? No, it wasn't those people at all. Junior Mitchie said you were impressionable. You were impressionable. Think how Howard Stern and the Ming Ching Chinese rant you made,
Uh-oh.
or the German guy talking about.
Okay, I think
this is
that
toxic.
is about it that he talks
Yeah,
about
that's
me
pretty much
and
it.
calls
Let's
me
stop there.
kid
That's a
for
good
the
call.
umpteenth time. But no, he's referencing me. I don't know who the kid was, the actual kid that was there who I think might have been a little off. He was a bigger fan than I was, but he was a little off. He was following Phil around all throughout.
Was it
SJC at the
Derek?
time. I
I
went
hope
and
it
hung
was
out with
Derek.
the completionist who makes great content. That dude's got
That didn't age
actual
well
talent.
either.
And someone
Oops.
who actually has talked to me in the past and given me advice about my YouTube channel.
Man,
and so on
Gamer
and so
J.
forth.
Lee
But
is
here's
full
what
of
I'm gonna do.
incorrect
I'm gonna
takes now.
I think that's.
Someone
was
Julius
that, was
Cruz?
that about it?
No.
I think that was.
I wouldn't actively do that. I don't go out.
I think that was about it for the content. I think that I think we.
The Air Raid Lord
talked
was a
about all it.
fascinating piece of
If I'm missing
story for
anything,
me.
let me know in the chat, guys. But honestly, I'm gonna bump it over to here. Phil, I don't hate you. I pity you.
Yeah.
You disgust
You
me.
are a very pitiful
You're a
person,
joke.
Darkside Phil.
I enjoy watching your suffering. I enjoy listening to people criticize you and giving you the criticism you deserve.
Wilson, I would say that he's still responsible.
I honestly enjoy
This dude's been getting feedback his whole life to cut
hearing
that shit
what
out.
people have to say and speaking the truth about you because you won't accept it.
You can't be
Enjoying
told
watching
something's on your
someone
face and ignore it
suffer.
for that long.
I would say more that I enjoy watching him torment himself because he won't accept that he's the reason why
Yes.
that he's failing.
Well said, Gamer J. Lee.
That's the main thing. The funny story thing is he could have capitalized on with him doing his own on a channel, but he fucked
You're talking
up
about this is
like
how you don't
everything.
place.
Well, exactly. He's a joke. Phil is a joke. And he can't blame anyone else but
You have
himself.
money, you scam
That's
people,
the
you gonna
truth.
spend it on burgers.
Chicky Chang Wang Charlie Chan Choka Choka Ch.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, Imbo. I don't know why it is that TTS just got really racist there for some reason. I assume that they uploaded some data from the AI cloud from Darkside Phil's content. I highly discourage that. If you're building any sort of AI, do not include Darkside Phil's content. That will corrupt it. Unless your goal is to make a Darkside Phil AI, in which case, don't let it have anything but Darkside Phil. Again, I appreciate it. Mei Ling was telling me something about that, by the way.
It's not John Rambo's fault. It's not Howard's fault. It's not the fans' fault. It's his. He's the one to blame.
Maybe Wilson. I don't know.
Oh, this is how you don't play? No.
You do have to try.
It's
You do have to
called
want to change.
satire. It's called criticism.
He just
And
doesn't.
originally, I believe that was supposedly the plan, right? Whenever it came to the actual, this is how you don't play, it was just going to be a satire, a joke. But he took it right up the ass.
Oh, wow. I'm the one.
And basically took it an entirely different way. I think that's gonna do it for about him and his bullshit. By the way, thank you guys so much for all the support on Twitter and everything else. I really do appreciate you guys tweeting this out, sharing it out. Much appreciated. This isn't a regular thing. Every once in a while I've mentioned Phil on my stream chats, but when he brings up me for the first time in years and wants to throw shade and say I'm one of his greatest detractors and that I basically backstabbed him and that I hated him, all this. I don't think so. Don't trust what he says. He's raging against a viewer the other day.
Well, that could apply to any single time period.
I was raging against a friend.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Darkside Phil. I apologize. Because Darkside Phil yells at people all day.
By the way, no one's ever been banned.
It's kind of impressive, really.
Because you think that
Anyway, so that's the end of Darkside, or that's the end of Gamer J. Lee. So this is a very, very self-contained story arc of Darkside Phil. Because aside from only a couple moments, this never gets brought up again ever. And DSP does have a propensity for bringing things up. And even the detractors have a propensity for bringing things up that DSP did. But this is pretty much nearly the end of it. Darkside Phil responds 2 more times to this. He does his response video, and then he does his response to his response video. So we're not going to watch the entire thing. This is from Snorpinel. Jealous and toxic rant about Wings of Redemption. I assure you it's not that interesting. All that really happened is people kept talking about Wings of Redemption, and DSP got frustrated because this is my stream, not Wings of Redemption stream. You know, same old shit. But give me a second. I got to find it.
Matter of fact about something and having, the freedom to talk about something very toxic.
React to barely will address anything about him. I will just pass it on.
Realize that, right?
Who do this kind of shit and think that this is like look at what Phil said about locals and
Make this be a wake-up call to you.
last week.
Okay, here
I
we go.
had a
And this is his response to Gamer J. Lee's video.
case that I had addressed. We were talking about people who obsess and people who become obsessed detractors and stuff like that. It was one of the topics we talked about on my
Yeah,
podcast.
it's that
And
dumb,
I
Jilsium.
mentioned that in the past there was a person who I thought was a big fan of mine. I said they were a big fan of mine to the point where I'd met them at a convention. I eventually let them be a moderator of mine. And then eventually things had like turned somehow in this person's head, like their opinion against me had turned. And without me even talking to anyone about this kind of stuff, and ever talking to this guy over the years, I apparently found out this guy had become a detractor of mine. He really hated me, and apparently just had a really changed opinion about me to the point where he joined detractor communities. He was talking shit about me on social media or whatever. And this is someone who I'd not had any contact with for years, right? This is someone who, you know, at one point I just met once in real life.
I believe you,
He had some
Phil. I believe you.
interactions online. He said he wanted to be
100% believe
moderator
you.
for me. He had moderated for me for a little bit, and then basically stopped moderating for me, and that was it. That's where we left it. I never talked to him for years. Next thing I know, this guy's become a detractor, and we had a conversation about.
Man, it's weird how people.
Yeah, I don't
kind
think
of
so,
get
Greg.
Almost indoctrinated into the detractor community who have been fans of mine over the years. It's weird because it has nothing to do with me. I didn't do anything to this guy. I never talked to him or nothing, right?
So we did all this, talked about this. It was a big segment of last week's stream, and you know that was it.
was a
That's where I
big
left it.
segment.
Now, by the way, I should bring this up. I never brought up anyone's name. I never addressed.
That's
a
true,
certain
superfluous
person.
moniker.
I just said this in general was
The
someone.
kid's status has been shed.
This is true story of something that happened. I purposely didn't want to call out a name because I'll be very honest.
Yes,
with all of you.
Wesley.
I didn't remember the name of the person or whatever who it was. I couldn't remember, and I know exactly what this person looks like. Okay. But I know I can't for the life of me remember them, okay? And it's my fault, you know, it's been years and years. We're talking 7+ years or whatever. But, you know, I didn't want to say a name. I didn't want to call out someone like that on a stream or whatever. I made it just a very generalized story, okay?
We heard Darkside Phil's story. Would you consider generalized? This dude narrowed down so specifically who he was talking about. He had it down to days that he met him, pretty much, events that he met him at, time that he spent as a mod, all this and that. Very, very laser focused on who it could have been. And apparently DSP told the general story.
Well, guess what? I take my day off last week. And
Yeah, he
apparently
left the
some
name out
person
on
the
purpose,
internet
exactly.
Says, Phil was talking about me on the Minecraft stream, and I'm going to make this really nasty video about why I hate Phil, and this is how I came to not like Phil, and blah, blah, blah.
This is how I came to not like Phil.
Of course, everyone on my day off tries to harass me about it online. I ignore. All week, people have been spamming my stream chat, all right, about this guy who made this video about me, saying, oh, Phil talked shit about me on the Minecraft stream or whatever, and this is the truth. I hate him because of this and this and this or whatever. And, you know, and everyone's, oh, Phil got blasted by this former fan, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Well, you did
Here's
get
how I'm going
blasted.
to end the stream.
Doesn't really matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, that person who made that video is not who I was talking about last week at all. This is some other guy. Some other fucking guy who apparently has a bug up his ass about me. This is not who I was talking about. Like I said, I remember specifically who this person is. That was not the guy at all. So this is some other guy who's come out of the woodwork. Who's
I
like,
agree, Greg.
oh, it's me he was talking about and blah, blah, blah. And I'm watching the video. I'm like, I don't know who this is. I know this isn't who I was talking about. Like, look, I was like, are you kidding me? It was just hilarious. I'm watching, I'm like, what the fuck? So the whole week, I just said, I'm just going to keep it under wraps until we get a Minecraft stream again next week. And then I'm just going to be like, I'm going to be honest. I don't know who the fuck that is. I don't know what's going on, who that is. But this is someone who took it upon themselves to make what I was talking about last week their own person. Like, they owned it, too. He's owning it. Like, this is his personal story.
So I don't know how much harder I can press this X button. I do think I'm breaking my controller at this point. This fake laughing, fake dismissal that he's doing. This, I have no idea what you're talking about, officer. I don't know what you're talking about. I had nothing to do with this. Gamer J Lee is his name. Never even heard of Gamer J Lee. I'm talking about someone else who completely matches all of Gamer J Lee's descriptions. I'm talking about a different Gamer J Lee, not this guy. Yeah, the fake laugh is just such crap. Because we've seen DSP flip out and get nothing but angry. And here he is laughing about it. It just seems really suspicious.
And shit. And I'm like, that is totally not the guy who I'm thinking.
No,
of,
you're the
who I'm
guy,
talking
DSP.
about. This is
You're
someone
right
else
about that. You're
who
the guy.
Literally wants to claim this identity. I don't know if maybe it's a similar story, but this is not who I was addressing on last week's stream. But do you see the point that I
As
tried
I
to
was
make? If
thinking
anything,
someone
this
totally
enforces
different.
my
You weren't
point.
even close.
These
The cat
people
reveal all over again.
Invent a narrative They literally invent a narrative as a reason to hate me. See, all these reasons why I hated Phil, and this just proves my point. But I wasn't talking about you. You're an idiot. You're an actual fucking idiot who made this about you when it was never about you. You're a complete moron. And that's what's hilarious about this shit, is that people do this all the time.
Well, DSP, are you trying to imply that this has happened multiple times? You've met multiple young children at cons? You've met multiple young children at cons, had them become mods, and then they hated you. It seems really, really silly that this happened apparently multiple times.
Oh my god, Phil did this
How's it going,
personally
Armor
to me,
Serial?
but I didn't do anything. You made it up. You literally did it. You made that association yourself, so you have a reason to hate me. Like, this is what people do. This is how nuts these fucking people are. Okay? So for me, like, I literally just laughed to myself all fucking week about this.
I'm sure it was
And I
very
like,
funny, DSP.
I can't believe how ludicrous this is, this guy saying all this shit. I'm like, this is not...
Yeah, like
I'm talking
Bracky, this
about.
is not
And
exactly
again,
a win
I
here.
Even if it was a specific person, I remember their name, I wouldn't call them out. I wouldn't say that on the street. This is someone who I haven't talked to in years and fucking years, right? I was talking in generalized terms to make sure that I wasn't actually insulting anyone.
Excuse
I
me,
was
sorry,
trying
I
to do
coughed
it
right in the
as
mic. I
less-
apologize.
as
Thought I
low
muted.
inflammatory way as I possibly could. So the fact that this person took this story and literally...
And furthermore, hold on a second. How exactly DSP's not even addressing what the dude said, which, I mean, granted, I don't think he ever would, but it's rather telling that DSP is shitting on a person. A person comes out of the woodwork to say, yeah, I was a former fan and a former mod and all this and that, and I did work for you and you're human garbage and I did grow to dislike you and all this and that. DSP said, well, you're not the guy I was talking about. But what about what all he said? What about all the things and criticisms he had to say? DSP, that, I mean, I don't know you though, so none of that counts.
really turned it into their own story is so insane, over the top, ludicrous insanity.
Ludicrous.
And that's probably the case in point of people who don't like me. That's probably why they don't like me, because they're that fucking nuts.
Yeah,
That's all I
clearly.
can say about that.
Yeah, clearly. It's
All
just
right,
insanity.
Steve Horn is awesome. Wings agrees with me. Real life indoctrinated children who say
So that's DSP's response. Now, you internalized what Darkside Phil stated. I don't know who this guy is. Never seen this dude in my life. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know who this guy is. Who is this guy? Well, this is the last clip we have. 11 minutes. DSP tries it. Caveman Sidefield denies, saying he didn't know who Gamer J Lee is.
You can come to me for honesty.
Yeah, they're nuts. They're just
Financially,
crazy.
I'm in ruin, basically, and I had to file for bankruptcy.
Hilarious.
So because of that, when you file for bankruptcy, basically people want to make sure they get paid. So this guy's saying, I'll do your taxes, but you got to pay me up front.
That sounds
I've never
good.
done that before.
Sounds
I
like a
didn't know
good
that was gonna
plan.
happen. I didn't have the money. I don't have the money. If I don't do this, I'm
Don't have the money to do it.
very dire straits. If you don't file your taxes, you could go to jail.
I don't have the money to do it.
I don't want to
I don't have the money to do it. Don't have the money to do it. Don't
So
have the
another fan became a detractor after being a mod, but Phil couldn't just talk to the actual person in private and ask why he hates him or apologize.
Yeah, Wesley. I mean, apparently it happened multiple times. So what is he going to do? Message every single one of the people who match this description? I mean, because if the other person came out and said, yeah, actually, I do match that description. He's talking about me, and DSP's a piece of shit. Be like, well, I don't know this guy either. So what is that? 3 now? Well, third person shows up, says, yeah, that's a bunch of shit. Phil's going to have to eventually single out the entire planet.
to file my taxes. So Rob says, a word of advice, heed it if you wish. When you get troll tips, maybe just add them silently to the
If you have
total.
conflict, then be
I
about the
honestly feel
conflict.
that
Have something to
although
say,
it's
but he
never
didn't say
warranted,
it.
you
Yeah,
do load the
exactly.
gun for the trolls to fire sometimes. I agree with you.
Again, I
and,
appreciate it,
you
Wesley.
know,
Thank you very much.
Here's what I'll say. First of all, I don't think that I should even add troll tips to the total. I'm being honest, because if someone is
that's a
unwilling to be
retcon.
in order to give me an insult, then I don't see the purpose behind giving them any recognition whatsoever. They don't deserve it.
Exactly, Wesley. I like it. That's a good reference.
Went out of their way
I'm Gamer
do
J
something
Lee.
malicious to try to get attention from me. Okay.
All right.
Why give them the attention they want?
Yeah.
By adding
That's
their
why you
name
should
to the
just
total,
talk about him instead.
right? Because that's what it is. They want to pretend like, oh, look at all the contributions that are coming in. In
Oh,
reality,
man, I don't want to actually
a
sit
lot
through
of
all
these
this, but
people
I'm just going to go
always
ahead and
try
wait.
to
It's
dispute
fine.
Their tips, and it ends up being an insanely annoying process by which I have to like argue with PayPal about this and say, no, this is not a trade. Because the thing is, PayPal.
This is any given stream right now.
Comes through PayPal as an eBay transaction.
This
I know
was
that sounds
happening the other
stupid,
day.
but it does. PayPal is so
Yeah,
outdated.
DSP has such a weird way of complaining
It
about the
literally
same
thinks
thing
everything
for
that comes
actual
through is a business
decades.
transaction. So if anyone ever
It's the same old shit, bro. I hear this. I heard this, what, 2 days ago?
Item that you shipped. Like, what?
What?
What the hell are you talking about?
Chargebacks. Those should be illegal in the
And
future.
that's what I mean. It's a
Don't
pain in the
worry,
ass.
4 year ago, Phil.
So for me,
They're illegal now. You try to do a chargeback, you're killed on the spot.
I prefer not to even count it because chances are this idiot is going to try to get this money tied up for so long that who knows if I'll ever even see it or if it's worth the frustration, right? So when I see troll tips, generally I don't want to acknowledge them. All right. Now I agree with you,
Barbers in
Rob.
chat should ask Phil for the financial tips and see where it
What I've
goes.
been doing recently is
I
basically
think he's
saying, "Oh, this
banned
guy's
people
just
before
disgusting,
that.
So we're just going to ignore it or whatever. Maybe I shouldn't address it at all. The problem then is,
But yeah,
you gotta
he usually
realize
gives
I'm
some very
reading all this
generic
stuff.
shit.
Okay, I am. I'm actively reading this
Oh
stuff
god,
on my
Mikey
stream.
Breaky.
So if I read it and you see me staring at the laptop screen and not saying anything for a minute while
You said you don't know Gamer J Lee, but there's a video of you talking about him and mentioning his name. Why are you such a liar?
I read something, then I realize it's a troll thing. I don't say anything. People are gonna be like, "What the fuck is he doing?" Right?
Well,
Those
I'll
playing
know what
games,
you're
stop
doing.
reading
You're reading a
something,
troll's
you respond
message.
to it,
Why
and
doesn't he
obviously
just
the zombie,
refund
like,
them?
why is he
No,
back
that's
and
his money.
forth?
He earned it by
And,
snorting.
You know. That's what I mean. Like
That's what I'm talking about,
basically
sniper
looking at
ladies,
this
man. Kill him.
as
Take him out.
the reason I
And
at least acknowledge
Hitman.
it is so people know what I'm doing. I don't want my legit viewers wondering what the hell I'm doing, that I'm staring.
I know this isn't related to Darkside Phil's current storyline I'm trying to discuss here, but what is this? What is this stupidity? If I lean over and press on my keyboard and someone vanishes from the chat, people are going to wonder what I'm doing. What are you talking about? We know what you're doing, dude. You're banning people, you know? Or better yet, maybe I have the capacity to mind my own damn business. If I'm watching some random streamer and they lean over and do something on their computer, I don't care what they're doing. You know, it doesn't matter. Well, maybe they're checking their email real quick. Maybe they got to send a DM real quick. Maybe they're, I don't know, firing off some missiles or something. I don't know.
At the
Doesn't
screen
matter.
and not acknowleding anything.
This is
and then people's
stupid.
like, okay, let's move on.
This is
Like,
moronic, Phil.
Why is he doing that? That would be pretty bizarre, right?
Not really.
Well, here we go. This is hilarious. An
Oh, here we
anonymous
go.
$5 tipper says, "You said you didn't know Gamer J Lee, but there's a video of you talking about him and mentioning his name. Why are you such a liar?" Because that's not what I said, or if I did say that, that's not what I meant. Well, guess what? I take my day off last week, and apparently
Just in case
some
you guys
person on
forgot.
the internet says, "Phil was talking about me on the Minecraft stream, and I'm going to make this really nasty video about why I hate Phil, and this is how I came to not like Phil, and blah, blah, blah."
Oh, God, noob.
So, of course, everyone on my day off tries to harass me about it online. I ignore. All week, people have been spamming my stream chat, all right, about this guy. who
Exactly,
made
good
this
God, no.
video
Mr.
about
Tough
me,
Guy.
saying, "Oh, Phil talked shit about me on the Minecraft stream or whatever.
Not even
and this is
willing
the
to be
truth, I
tough like
hate him because
that.
of this and this and this or whatever." And, you know, and everyone's, "Oh, Phil got blasted by this former fan, blah, blah, blah."
Yep,
Okay.
Superfluous Moniker. He did that little,
Here's
well,
how
I
I'm
don't
going
know
to
if I
end the
did.
stream.
I didn't mean it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that person who made that video is not who I was talking about last week at all. This is some other guy.
That's the
Some
ultimate
other
defense,
fucking
man.
guy
I
who
like it.
apparently
If
has
I
a
did
book
do it,
up his
well,
ass
oops.
about me. This is not who I was talking about. Like I said, I remember specifically who this person is. That was not the guy at all. So this is some other guy who's come out of the
Then you're not
woodwork,
trustworthy, Darkside
who's
Phil.
like, "Oh,
You're not
it's
trustworthy
me
as a
he was talking
narrator,
about," and blah, blah, blah.
narrator.
And I'm watching the
I
video.
don't know
I'm
this
like,
guy.
I don't know who this is. I know I did. This isn't who I was talking about. Like, look, I'm.
Oh, yeah. It's
I
real
was
funny,
like, are you
DSP.
kidding
Is it going to
me?
be funny in a
It was
couple of
just
minutes?
hilarious. I'm watching. I'm like, what the fuck?
When we cut back to the future?
Whole week, I just said I'm just gonna keep it under wraps until we get a Minecraft stream again next week, and then I'm. And then I'm
Exactly,
just gonna
Wilson,
be
you're
like,
getting it.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know who the
Nothing
fuck
wrong.
that is. I don't know what's going on. Who that is? This is someone who took it upon themselves to make what I was talking about last week.
I
their
don't know who
own
this is.
like,
I don't
they
know who this
owned
is.
it,
I don't
too.
know who
He's
this is.
owning
I don't
it,
know
like,
who
this
this is.
Personal story and shit. And I'm like, that is totally not the guy who I'm thinking of and
No,
who
you're
I'm
the guy.
talking about. This is someone else who literally wants to claim this identity. I don't know if maybe
Absolutely,
it's a similar
soldier.
story, but this is not who I was addressing on last week's stream. But do you see the point that I tried to make? If anything, just enforces my point. These people invent a narrative. They literally invent a narrative as a reason to hate me.
Okay, this is really silly, but it is kind of funny what kind of goofy shit that was happening on Darkside Phil's Minecraft streams. We got the Seattle tax office pay up Phil. DSP has become progressively less and less and less tolerant of these kind of things. This thing would never be allowed nowadays. In fact, if you suggested this, you would just be straight up banned.
A narrative. They literally invent a
Yeah, the
narrative
fake
as
laugh
a
is
reason to
very
hate me.
obnoxious.
Very
It makes
briefly,
me
I'll gloss over
physically
this because
hurt.
it's stupid and it's derailing, and I'm not going to bother with it. But 2 weeks ago in my Minecraft stream, I was
It's
telling a
rough,
story
Banana Jones.
about someone who was a former fan and mod of mine. Who
That's some
apparently
old-ass
had
art.
kinda like, over the years, had a soured opinion about me and apparently became a detractor or joined the detractors or whatever. Okay, I didn't mention any names or anything. I just used it as an example of how me literally doing nothing, somehow people still get corrupted and twisted against me and doing nasty things because of these toxic lolcow communities that are out there.
Yeah, we
So
corrupted
someone
them.
took it upon themselves
We
to assume
influenced
that I
them.
was talking about them and apparently made a video about it in that week or whatever. I ignored it completely the entire week because I knew the truth of the matter. And then when I did my Minecraft stream on Monday, I said, truth of the matter is, that guy who made that video isn't even who I was talking about.
Mhm.
Right?
And then you
I
said
don't
you didn't know who he
why
was.
that guy decided to like listen to what I said in
And
my
you said you
Minecraft
didn't know
video
who he
and
was.
decide, oh, this is my story and he's talking about me. I purposely didn't name drop anyone when I was talking about this person in the Minecraft video because
Of
I
course,
didn't want
dude.
to cause drama. It was just a general example of how this kind of wild and wacky stuff happens. How people just fall in line with almost these brainwashing of the detractor community and all of a sudden become part of the lolcow mentality. All right.
Okay, but can you see how this happens because
person
of this kind of shit?
100% say, oh, it's me. It's definitely me. And he's saying that, and it wasn't this person at all. All right. That was not who I was addressing at all. And that's basically what I said on my Minecraft stream on Monday. I was like, I'm sorry that this person.
Those fake
took
loud
it
gives
that
it all
way,
away
took it
when you know.
personally,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
That's totally not who I was talking about at all. I know for a fact because I can picture the person in my mind. I remember.
Can you
meeting
DSP?
them.
Okay. I'm not the greatest artist, but let me get out my sketchbook and I'm gonna get out my crayons. You just describe him for me, okay? Well, he's like between 2 and 8 feet tall. Kind of a nasty shithead, real toxic individual. Okay, I'm getting it. Kind of dark hair. All right. And fat. Is this the detractor? That's Cat, you fucking idiot.
At a gaming convention, I remember, who they were and everything. And it's not that person who made the video. Gamer Jay Lee, who is a avid viewer, a fan of mine, who I actually met at SGC, Screwtack Gaming Convention, if you don't know what that is, last year, wants to do a brief interview with me, like 30 minutes.
An interview, eh?
Just wants to ask me some questions. I've agreed to do that.
That's
on
the one that
Skype.
got privated,
I'm not sure
eh?
how he's going to present that, if it's going to be a video on his YouTube channel, but once I get that information,
Yes,
from you guys,
John.
I'll let you know. That's what I said in the Minecraft video on Monday. All of a sudden now, well, no, see, Phil lied because he knows who Gamer Jay Lee is and all that. I'm like,
Look at
wait,
this pose,
what are
man.
you talking about? When did I say that I didn't know who Gamer Jay Lee was? Some other guy who's come out of the woodwork, who's like, oh, it's me he was talking about and blah, blah, blah. And I'm watching the video, I'm like, I don't know who this is. What I'm saying is, that's not the person.
Look, DSP, I know you don't understand this because you're a narcissist and you're quite frankly very stupid. But people can become unreliable as narrators or as sources of information through no actual malice. But if someone is consistently wrong and stupid and incorrect, it doesn't matter if they're a good person. Now, in DSP's example here, he is not a good person. But I'm trying to say, like, even if DSP was a good person, because he can't ever relay stories accurately, you would not trust him. It's that simple. So you throw that concept on top of him just being an unrepentant shithead. Dude, you've got no reputation. You can't be trusted.
Person I was talking about in the Minecraft video. So you're completely off base and
Oh,
wrong.
he's definitely
again.
dented.
What a surprise. Basically, it's called trying to confuse the viewer or move the goalpost. Oh, so you're a liar. I didn't say I didn't know who that was.
You did
That's
say
not
it
who I was
multiple
talking
times.
about in the video. All right. I don't know who this is. Debunk that and say, no, that's actually not the person I was talking about. Oh, but Phil, you know who that is because you made a video or talked about him in a video years ago. Great. That doesn't prove anything. I didn't say.
It proves that you didn't
that I
know
don't
what you were
who
saying
that guy is.
earlier.
I'm saying that's not the guy I was talking about in the Minecraft video. So everyone,
God, it's so
who's
annoying.
got caught up in that drama.
He
you're a
really
dumb
just
fucking
thinks he's
idiot.
smarter than everyone.
Congratulations, you've once again proven my point that you're all just a bunch of tinfoil hat wearing morons.
Well, how is he proving his point here? That's not making any sense to me. I know that DSP, like any narcissist, will just claim victory, which is kind of cool. You see it in DSP Street Fighter footage where he's just the winner, man. You know, I'm better than you, so I won. But dude, no, you said you didn't know who he was. And you didn't say it just once. You said it multiple times that you were utterly baffled as to who this person was. Person comes in and says, hey, actually, you do know who this person was because there's this evidence that shows that you did know. Okay, well, you're crazy. I proved it. No, you didn't prove shit. You just, you're frustrating, Phil.
Mouth drooling, sheepish, parroting morons.
All right. Lay into me,
Told by
Phil.
People who are bringing this shit up to make money and get popularity on the internet. You are a gullible doofus. Congratulations on.
All right, DSP, you the winner, man. What is this art? I never understood what this art was.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, get the hell out of here, Phil.
Water tipped me $1. Yesterday you contradicted yourself. You said contributions aren't a competition, but yesterday you said of course it's a competition. I never said it was not a competition. I said contributions.
Jade should
are
get a
not
t-shirt that
mandatory,
says like proud mouth
nor are
ruler
they
or something.
expected. However, obviously, anytime that you have a leaderboard somewhere, there's a competition involved. There's a competition for recognition, right? People want to be the top tipper. People want to be the top cheerer. People want to be on the leaderboard and get recognition for their contributions, right? So there you go. I have no idea what you're talking about.
And
I'm
you're banned.
sure now someone will pull. Here we go again.
Yeah, interclone conflict. It's really sad because they're both losers at the end of the day.
My 12 years of history and find a clip of me saying that contributions are not a competition.
It doesn't matter, DSP. It matters because you always try and pretend like you didn't.
And say, see, Phil said it.
If you just said, yeah, okay, I was wrong.
They're actual
Oops.
fucked up idiots.
The DSP just can't admit he's wrong. It can't happen.
See, Phil said this 4.5 years ago, and now he says today it's not a competition. Contradiction. It's like, no.
New clone.
That shows mental illness on your behalf because you actually wasted your fucking time looking for that when it's completely out of context. And anyone.
That's a good sound clip. If anyone needs a good
like,
sound clip for their soundboard of detracting.
Says today it's not a competition. Contradiction. It's like, no. That shows mental illness on your behalf because you actually wasted
good clip.
your
I like
time
it.
looking for that when it's completely out of context. And anyone with a logical mind says you're an idiot. Now Steelwater tipped me $1 and says, you said last week that contributions aren't competition. Oh my God, these fucking people. Fine,
I think
said it
at that
last
point he's
week,
just joking
okay?
around.
Fine. I don't even know what you're talking about. How about this?
Okay, I agree, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't care. You are stupid. I don't waste time.
I wonder
on
why
you
people don't
because
donate to
you
Phil.
Dumb.
He seems
I
like
can
such a
talk in
charming
my
guy.
caveman terms so these people understand. You dumb. Ooga booga. Scratch your
Just
armpit.
shitting on Jade out of
You
nowhere.
stupid.
Damn.
Waste time.
Poor Jade.
No one care about bullshit but you. You waste life on bullshit.
You
I
are
play fun
stupid.
game on stream. Who the winner here? You figure out.
Well, DSP, I can tell you who the winner is. The winner, look, man, you didn't really do a good job of proving us wrong here with this. You just demonstrated that you are very easy to rattle. You're very easy to catch in a contradiction, and you're very easy to get upset. And I don't quite get it where you think that you've won in any sort of context. The detractors know you're a liar. Anyone who listened to this knows you're a liar. Anyone who was on the fence about it knows you're a liar. Man, DSP, you can't keep winning like this. That's disastrous.
Now, shut the fuck up.
All right, nice.
God, you're stupid. Oh my God.
So if you don't have a logical mind, you have mental illness, I guess. Yeah, pretty much. And this was just the original clip. Minecraft chill stream, February 10th, 2020, part 2. That's when he first started talking about Gamer J Lee. So for context of time period. And this stream's still up. It's still there. He talks about it around the second half. But yeah, he gets mad super quick. You just aren't allowed to call him out. It's forbidden. If you call him out, you are mentally ill. Because I guess that's how DSP sees sanity. If you're a sane, logical person, you would just never question me ever. Right? That just seems correct. Anyway, I hope everyone enjoyed this trip down memory lane with the Gamer J. Lee story arc. As I said, it never really gets addressed ever again, and it makes it a really great filler episode because, like I said, it's very encapsulated. This entire event took place over maybe 8-9 days and required no real buildup, no real backstory. I mean, you had to know some things, like you had to know about Darkseid Phil, which is probably the worst thing you had to know about. You had to know about, Panda Lee and Panda Ree. But it did provide a lot of interesting insights on Darkseid Phil. And one of the things that I really liked about it is that very rarely do you have a person who can give you definitive behind the scenes stories of their interaction with Darkseid Phil. It's very few. And we got this dude, met him at a convention, talked to John Rambo, saw that DSP was getting annoyed, saw that Panda Lee was a shithead. My dad told me that Darkseid Phil's a loser. Like that's some cool information. We also got some information in Panda Lee in general. Like he would talk to her through Xbox Messenger and she was a shithead. It's a wealth of information. And of course, DSP solved it all in true DSP fashion and just decided that he won the entire engagement, which I don't know how you could lose any harder, really. I thought you already lost, but he found ways to lose that I didn't think you could do. But it's wild. I really do enjoy it. And I'm like I said, I'm a little bummed out that this doesn't get brought up as much as it should, but I can understand why. It's not a whole lot of big explosive things, but it was an interesting aside and a little behind the scenes information for Lynn the Deranged. This whole event is what inspired me to start becoming like a person who does videos on Darkseid Phil, because I found this just so fascinating. I thought it was a very fun event, and I was shocked that so few people really talked about it when it happened. And so I thought, I'm going to become one of these detractor dudes, and I'm going to go back and talk about it. And so I finally did. There you go. It was fun for me. It was something I've been meaning to do for a very long time, is discuss this entire story arc. And it's very rare that you can have an entire story arc be so succinct. I have anything else to end with? Particularly, I do plan to be here tomorrow for more Street Fighter and whatever stupid ass surprise we're gonna get. I'm sure it's something stupid. Anna Lee is pregnant, but DSP, I thought you said that you weren't with her anymore. No, I never said that. Anyway, yeah, Ricada Law. I heard about what's going on with the dude. That Ricada Law just seems like such a dark place to be that I almost don't even find it funny. I don't even want to watch it. Like the dude's looking like he's about to. I mean, I don't really mean to be grim about this, but it's just what I observe. I'm like, man, it looks like he's at any minute he's just gonna pull out a gun and put it in his mouth. Like that dude looks depressed and horrible. I've never seen anything quite like it. Not even in what was it? Daniel Larson's darkest moments did I think, you could have someone look that depressed on screen. I mean, I hope he does. And I'm not trying to make a joke of it, but I'm like, dude, people might want to check on this guy. Okay, I'll give you a let's give up. That seems appropriate.
Let's give up.
But yes, let's give up. Thank you again, everyone. I really appreciated you coming out and joining me for this. Any last words? No, I don't really have anything else. I'm going to be here Friday. Yeah, I went over everything. Cool. Again, thank you all. Have a fantastic detox day. Enjoy the rest of your detox day, and I will see you tomorrow, most likely. And have a great evening. And what's the last little piece of wisdom we can pull from this? Make sure you know who you're talking about. Because then when people try and call you out, you'll have to like make dumb laughs and fake laughs and retcon everything. And you just don't want to have to deal with that. So just make sure you're talking about the right, stupid, negative, toxic shithead. Because otherwise it's embarrassing.
Y'all have a great, safe, blessed day. You know what? I'm going to end this video on a really good, highly vibrational note.
Why should I allow you to talk when you don't support me? You don't give me any money to pay my bills, so therefore you're worthless to me. You don't have anything nice to say, therefore you're worthless to me. All you want to do is say snide comments, snide remarks, therefore you're worthless to me. You guys don't support me financially. You don't support me in a positive way. You don't encourage me to do great things. You don't fucking support me. So why should I support you and give you motherfucking assholes the right to say whatever the fuck you want? You don't get that fucking privilege. I won't let you have that fucking privilege. You want an opinion on this channel? Then donate some money. Put up or shut up. You want the right to talk on this channel? You want privileges? Then start paying my bills, motherfucker. Until you start paying my fucking bills, then you don't have the right, you don't have the privilege or the authority to say whatever the fuck you want on my fucking channel. Because I won't give you the privilege. Because if you're not supporting me monetarily, then you're fucking worthless to me.
Take care and be blessed, all of you. And may you find great light, power, and goodness within yourselves and redeem yourselves and just get out of the toxic minority. Period. Be with the majority and be good.
Get a 60-day supply of platinum.
No? You know what? I'm gonna say somebody in Russia just died, and no other just died with that second gunshot. Somebody really toxic. Maybe Putin died by his own sword. Anyway. We have cleared the air. Everything is good. All of you take care and have a blessed, safe day and night.